You've been to Haiti, is he right?
Well, I was in Norway, and then 2 weeks later, I was in Haiti. So that's
Compare
it's
and
an anomaly.
contrast.
Yes, it was a big comparison. Um, both have beautiful people in both countries. I
Hmm.
just want to start off there, but
Yeah.
it is a different way of life. It's a different ideology. It's a different level of learned behavior. Like in Norway, you would never, ever, ever, ever see anybody throw garbage on the ground. And if there was by chance a piece of garbage anywhere, somebody would pick it up and put it in a receptacle. In Haiti, there's garbage. They don't have any government services, so there is no garbage pickup. So they put all their garbage in the riverbed and then they burn it when the piles get so high. There's garbage spilling over on the sidewalks, but they have done a good job in trying to clean it up since the earthquake some 10 years ago. But there was garbage before the earthquake, and there's still garbage there now. So these are different worlds. It's a third world country, besides one of the best countries in the world, which is Norway. Norway's a
Well,
very sophisticated country.
I,
It's
I, I don't know. I mean, from Lillehammer, I saw
oh,
Lillehammer,
and that changed
the
your
show,
way.
and I assume that's basically a documentary.
Yes,
So
it
I
is a
mean, I assume
documentary.
Stephen Van Zandt would mislead me.
No,
So
never,
I'm taking
never,
that
never,
as
never.
a fair depiction of Norway. I have not been. I've been to Stockholm.
Yeah,
Been to your
I
motherland,
I've
but
been to
not.
Stockholm too, but Norway is just a little step up. It is
No,
there's
is
something
it?
about it that is just more
Oh.
pristine, more I don't know. The tapestry is beautiful. The fjords. It's just
Oh,
it's
the fjords.
gorgeous.
Sure.
The food's excellent.
Yeah.
The beer flows. You've
Yeah.
never get a better beer in your life
You trying to
than
get a
in
job
Norway.
at the Lillehammer Chamber of Commerce, are you?
Exactly.
So your reactions to Trump's characterization of countries like Haiti and El Salvador,
Africa.
sub-Saharan Africa, as S-hole countries. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Is that a racist comment that he made?
I died a little inside when I heard it. I mean, I did. I died a little inside because I was appalled that he would say that. But part of it is true. I mean, these are third world countries where there is no infrastructure, there is no government help to help people. That's why you need places, organizations like Food for the Poor to come in and feed people who are destitute and things like that. But to say it though, you don't say it. You can think it, President Trump, but you don't say it because people live there. People are Haitian Americans. Look at Mia Love, the congresswoman.
Yeah,
She's a daughter
she
of Haitian refugees.
right. She did not react favorably to
She
that.
wants him to apologize.
Right.
And I think that he should apologize. But I don't know if that's going to be coming. That's another question. Should he apologize? 312-642-5600. Or should he just let this slide? And he's in for a rude awakening because it's Mar-a-Lago Friday. And I just came from Palm Beach last weekend from a wedding right next to Mar-a-Lago. We were at the Breakers. And all the cleaning staff. And because I heard him speaking Creole, and I kept saying, bonsoir and bonjour. And they knew. And I said, oh, I was in Haiti. Everybody is Haitian.
Uh-huh.
And the bartending staff, they're Jamaicans. So if he thinks that, that it's going to be a smooth trip for Palm Beach, I'm sure that they're going to protest in front of Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, maybe not. Kevin McCullough, who's a friend of ours, radio colleague of ours, broadcast out in New York,
Yeah.
he adopted a Haitian boy.
Ooh, that's hard to do.
And he makes the point that his son would agree with Trump's characterization. It's because it's not he's not taking a reflection on him, and I'm sure the Haitian employees at Mar-a-Lago are here not because they think that Haiti is some is some paradise.
It should be a tropical destination, but it is
Right.
never going to be that.
So I mean, can you separate the state of affairs in a particular country from the people of that country? From the rank and file people. I mean, look at the kleptocracy we live in. Can you separate yourself as a family, as a person and family who lives in Illinois, from what the political ruling class has done to Illinois? No, it's not obviously the same thing as a third world country, although we're efforting in that direction. But the point is to say, it's this. Can you separate what government has and the powerful the world over, including, frankly, U.S. policy, what U.S. policymakers and what Haitian policymakers, just to use Haiti as an example,
Right.
have done to their country
Oh.
from the people who live in the country. And aren't you in a bit of a trick bag if you're um, if you're arguing on the one hand that characterizing these countries negatively is racist and inappropriate, at the same time you think it's racist to not send 200,000 El Salvadorians back to their home country? Well, why is it heartless to send them back to their country if their country doesn't fit the characterization or some facsimile of the characterization that Trump made? It's heartless on both sides? Why do El Salvadorians want to be here? Why do Haitians want to work at Mar-a-Lago and not at the whatever hotels are in downtown Port-au-Prince? Why do you think that is? You know why it is.
Right. I told you, it's hell on earth. Haiti there were parts of it that just.
So if he said it was hell on earth rather than an S-hole, is that different?
It would have been different. That S word, which we cannot say here, which we are not going to say here, which, by the way, every single station, CNN must have said it 17 times this morning. They're just throwing it around. It's an FCC violation. You cannot say that.
Thanks for that.
Well, it just sounded, it's like so off the cuss and dismissive, like, oh, those places are blank holes.
Yeah, okay. So, again, now to the underlying substance of what I just said.
There's truth to both of it. I mean, I understand Trump, you are not going to change him. He's a 71-year-old man. He is crass. He doesn't think before he speaks. But as president of the United States, you cannot say that. You know why? Because people live there. People are from there. It's disrespectful.
Ed in Oak Brook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
You know, I wish you wouldn't have said that, but I'm sure other countries say a lot of bad things about us, and probably me as well.
Okay.
But,
So
but
what?
the fact of the matter is, when we bring in immigrants or immigrants come here, they should be, I would think, productive or can stand on their own. What we're basically doing when we take from these third world nations is bringing in more people that are just going to be dependent on the government for assistance, and Amy said it herself, they need help. Well, you know what? I'm tired of helping because I'm paying for this and I'm not getting anything out of it. Have a nice day.
All right, thanks, Ed. I'll tell you
I mean,
what.
why couldn't you say, why don't we take less people from third world countries and more people from Northern Europe? I mean, basically, that's what he was saying, but he said Norway and he said S-holes and picked out certain countries.
I don't know that it's exclusive to Western Europe or Scandinavia. I think he's essentially using that as a proxy.
Well, because the Norwegian prime minister was in town the day before.
Okay. I think he's using that as a proxy for sort of what Ed said. We want, merit-based immigration. But rather than saying merit-based immigration like a policymaker would say, he says it like a reality TV show star would say, I suppose. Jordan in Forest Park.
Yes, good morning, Dan and Amy. According to the World Atlas, the 20 countries in the world with the lowest literacy rates, 18 of those include African countries and Haiti. So I think that it's going back to what Ed said. If you want to bring over people from certain countries, if you're going to bring them over from certain countries, just bear in mind that a lot of them are going to be illiterate. The literacy rates in those countries range from 25% to about 50%, according to the World Atlas.
Well, yeah, right. So this all gets back to the same thing. But the question is the judiciousness. Is this like a way to just kind of cut through all the usual political speak on the topic and talk plainly about what we know to be true about third world countries and the endemic problems they've had for generations? Or is it intemperate and unhelpful? And you could say things like, we want merit-based immigration rather than chain migration or diversity visa lottery. Sure, you got productive people from Haiti or from El Salvador or from any other country in the world that want to come here and add value and be self-sufficient. Great, no problem. Isn't that just an easier way to say it? Does this help the advance a sensible policy on immigration? Does it help the branding of either the president or, by extension, the Republican Party when it comes to immigrant populations.
One of my friends texted me yesterday and said, "This is why people think Republicans are racist."
Well, I mean, there's going to
Doesn't
be
help.
some of that. It's look, from my perspective, these are the kind of unnecessary comments that I know this is like, people are going to say this is letting Trump be Trump. This is speaking plainly, not like an elitist or not like some political hack. But I just, if you are going to say something as coarse as these countries are S-holes, then you have to qualify it. If you're a serious person and if you're, I don't know, the leader of the free world. What I'm saying when I say that, because when you say something like that in a room full of other politicians and policymakers, is that that's going to that should set off an alarm bell and say. And what I mean by that, of course, is the decades and decades of corruption, a government that preys on its people, what the government has done to its own people in countries like Haiti and other countries. Also, U.S. policy, how U.S. policy in so many instances, no matter how well intended, has produced disastrous results in places like Central America and Africa. And we need to be sensible about U.S. policy, too. This isn't about the people. It's about their government and policy and what that's done, and separate the two. Look, Russell Moore tweeted out yesterday, the Church of Jesus Christ is led by, among others, our brothers and sisters from Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean. They are us. That's right. That's right. And if you want to say these countries are catastrophes, they are.
Yeah, just
But-
say it like that.
But distinguish it from the people who are us, as Russell Moore said.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Perfect timing. Today, President Trump is signing a MLK proclamation before he heads off to Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago Friday. Woo! Today, mostly cloudy, breezy. Colder with some snow showers. A high of 25 degrees. Tonight, a low of 8. And your weekend looks like this. Saturday, very cold, cloudy in the morning, then clouds and sun in the afternoon, a high of just 18. And on Sunday, sun giving way to some clouds, very cold, though, a high of 22 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Outbound Ryan. Traffic is jammed. 83rd to 91st. There's a rollover dump truck. 3 right lanes are blocked. You're looking at an 8 to 10 minute delay. Inbound, just a 1 or 2 minute delay from Roosevelt into the Burn Circle. Bishop Ford outbound. Ramp restrictions are in place at 159th. This is due to a major crash at 159th in the area between Woodlawn and the Bishop Ford. 159th is closed. This one involves a vehicle and a snowplow. 3 ambulances have responded. Southeast side, 100th Street remains blocked. Commercial Avenue and Avenue N after a triple fatal collision. Elsewhere this morning, the expressways and tollways are in pretty good shape. Road conditions better than we expected, though if you're heading well south of the Chicago area, you'll encounter some winter weather. We're going into this holiday weekend. Flight boards at O'Hare and Midway show almost no delays. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants. And that's why you need to see Dr. Noruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Noruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
All right, I have to admit it was an eyesore, the chipping and paint peeling on our front and back porch. It looked awful, but thanks to CertaPro painters, the porch looks brand new. The painters who showed up were professional, respectful. They were done in just a few hours, and when they left, the house looked brand new. They really are the best in the business, and it's not too late to book your painting project. There are several spots open on CertaPro's schedule.
Here's an idea. Let CertaPro painters transform your home while you're on vacation and return to a freshly painted house. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, and so we invite you to experience the CertaPro difference. For a free estimate, call 1-800-GO-CERTA, C-E-R-T-A, or visit CertaPro.com, that's Certa with the C. Get that painting project off your to-do list. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Call 1-800-GO-CERTA, C-E-R-T-A. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has been an all-male military school since 1884. But is going co-ed beginning summer 2018. Their midterm registration is January 21st, and you're invited to attend an upcoming St. John's open house. Consider St. John's Northwestern Military Academy for your son or daughter's middle and high school education in the beautiful Lake Country region of southwest Wisconsin. Your child will receive outstanding academics, superb athletics, leadership opportunities, a chance to live and learn with students from around the world, and most importantly, a safe and structured environment where each student can achieve at his or her full potential. To learn more about how a St. John's Northwestern Military Academy education can give your child the advantage he or she deserves, don't miss an upcoming St. John's open house. For open house dates and more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy talking about Trump's colorful language about immigration, and if that serves the interest. You know how the arc of this of the news cycle on this, right? There's going to be this firestorm that already is based on what he said, and then he'll be asked about it. And the next time he's asked about it, he'll say, "No, of course we have great people from Haiti and this country. Hey, Olden Polynice. I used to love him much to play basketball. He's from Haiti. I love Olden Polynice." Or he'll say something like that, and it'll be like, "See, I told you, Trump's not racist. He's fine. He's just trying to say merit-based immigration. He's just trying to say, and the diversity visa lottery," and that's the way he says it. And then it'll be on to the next thing. That's what's going to happen.
I thought that would happen too, but then CNN was reporting that a White House source says this is good for the base, for Trump's base. That what he said.
Yeah, but yeah.
He needs to come out and talk.
I don't. I mean, his plain spokenness, I know, has its appeal. It also has its limits. You're getting to a high floor, low ceiling with some of this stuff, so it's not helpful. I don't think it's net productive. Philip in Blue Island, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
So why mention Norway? I mean, he's going to attack Haitians because they have AIDS. He's going to attack Nigerians because they supposedly live in huts. And he's going to attack Africa as a country. I mean, last week we were talking about the book from Wolf and everything else. The race was not even mentioned. But this president has, I don't know why I know he's a racist.
Yeah.
And a lot of people on both sides of the aisle are now acknowledging it as the most racist since Wilson. So for us to sit here and try to talk about the immigration piece of it, or to talk about all these other things, and not to look at the White House for what it is, and the Republican Party for not coming out directly and denouncing this idiotic statement. And who talks in terms of S-hole? Who still uses language like that? Unless you have all these words in your brain, and this is the way you talk, this is the way you are, this is your personality.
All right.
For him to be the president of the United States is shameful to the world, for the world to see this.
All right, thanks for the call, Philip.
He's still a crass New York businessman.
Well,
he is.
With point of order, the White House did deny that he made those statements that Philip just referenced regarding AIDS in Haiti and regarding huts in Nigeria. They denied that. They're not denying that he made the statement about S-holes.
Okay. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, how the right responds to what President Trump said.
And will Rand Paul filibuster FISA reauthorization at 5:38?
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 23 degrees. An urgent message from the Ford Motor Company this morning. They're talking to about 3,000 owners of an older model pickup. They're asking those who drive those pickups to stop driving them immediately. It's an unprecedented request from an automaker. It comes after they confirmed a second death caused by a defective Takata airbag inflator. Both of those deaths occurred with inflators installed in 2006 Ranger pickups. The White House is not denying a report that President Trump used a vulgar term to describe countries like Haiti and El Salvador. Washington Post reporting that the president used the crude language while talking about immigration with lawmakers inside the Oval Office yesterday. Congresswoman Mia Love says she plans to rise above those comments. Arriving in Salt Lake City last night on a flight from Washington, she spoke out about the president's comments about immigrants from countries like her own, Haiti.
My parents, they never took anything. They did everything they can to contribute to society. And that's the American dream. That's where that comes from. I know because I'm living it.
Love's parents are Haitian immigrants, and she is the only Haitian American in Congress. More than 40 are still missing after deadly mudslides in Southern California. Santa Barbara County Sheriff Bill Brown gave the new figure yesterday. 17 people ranging in age from 3 to 89 are confirmed dead. This year's Big Critics' Choice Awards winner is The Shape of Water and director Guillermo del Toro. 3 are dead following a fiery crash on Chicago's far south side. Police say a 2016 Chevy sedan was speeding this morning when it slammed into a light pole along East 100th Street. 3 died at the scene. A Naperville man is accused of stabbing his mother to death this week in DuPage County. Kevin James was ordered held on $3 million bail while appearing in court yesterday on those murder charges. Chicago Police Chief Anthony Riccio is being promoted to second in command in the department. Superintendent Eddie Johnson announcing yesterday the 31-year veteran has been named a new first deputy superintendent, replacing Kevin Navarro, who is retiring next month. Illinois still winless in Big Ten basketball, losing to Iowa in overtime 104-97. Last night, Chicago State fell to Seattle. Tennessee State tipped Eastern Illinois. Omaha beat Western. The Bears are turning to a former college head coach as their new offensive coordinator, former Oregon coach Mark Helfrich. The news, a service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. Post a job in minutes. Manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. 5:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher wants to bring you a different kind of show.
There are plenty of hosts. There are plenty of writers. There are plenty of pundits. There are plenty of congressmen. There are plenty of people who criticize Donald Trump every minute of every hour of every day, and I don't do that on this show. I want you to come here and have a different experience.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
5:36 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Outbound Ryan, traffic is jammed 83rd to 91st after a dump truck rolled over there. This is getting moved, but 3 right lanes remain blocked. Got about a 10-minute delay. Inbound, it's heavy approaching downtown, looking at 18 minutes from 95th to the Loop. The Edens and the Kennedy are looking good. The Eisenhower's in good shape. Bound Stevenson, slow pockets start around Harlem. 36 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound found at 34. Issue Ford inbound, got about a 4-minute delay, 103rd of the merge. Outbound, there are ramp restrictions at 159th. This is due to a crash at 159th and Woodlawn. Has 159th closed in that area. This one involving a snowplow. East side neighborhood, 100th Street is closed. Commercial Avenue and Avenue N after a triple fatal collision. 3300 block of East 100th. This happened before 3 o'clock this morning. Traffic is a service of Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is simple. You can understand the details and be sure you're getting the right mortgage. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Visit rocketmortgage.com today. Licensed in all 50 states. Equal housing lender. MLS number 3030. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, breezy, colder, snow showers. Already some flurries reported in and around Midway this morning, high 25. Brisk and colder, a low of 8 overnight. Sun, but very cold tomorrow, high of 18. Currently 22. Your next news update at 6. Breaking news as it happens. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. The House voting to renew NSA spying rejects the push for some reforms to essentially the intelligence community's surveillance powers. You know, this after former DNI James Clapper, clap on, clap off, James Clapper.
That was really bad. We should practice that.
Yeah, you got to get the timing right.
All right, can we do it again? We have
clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, James Clapper.
Yes. Thank you.
So
made my Friday.
Remember, he lied to the country,
right,
about not gathering information on Americans. And Rand Paul is making noise about filibustering the authorization, the FISA authorization, the surveillance authorization, unless some reforms are included. And Rand Paul went on Morning Joe, much to his chagrin. He must be still suffering the effects from that beating he took, to explain his view and, frankly, the president's view per his conversations with President Trump on the topic. Paul seeming to indicate that Trump agrees with him.
This program allows us to spy on foreigners in foreign lands with a less than constitutional standard, or really with no constitutional standard. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is that millions of Americans are collected into this data system and that maybe rogue people at the FBI or a Justice Department could look at this database without a judge's warrant. So we want a judge's warrant. So I don't think they're mutually exclusive. You can be for the program and for the program with reforms.
Right.
And the way I understand the president's position is that he wants some of the reforms, that he thinks that we ought to have a warrant to look at this, and that there's a possibility that people with bias in the intelligence community could use that bias to actually abuse the system. This is an enormous power. You have to realize we have the ability to soak up every phone call in Italy in 1 month, and apparently we did. So we have the ability to soak up most of the phone calls and conversations in the whole world. That power is so enormous that it needs to be limited and watched carefully, and I think a judge should be looking at this before you try to look at an American's information.
Does he have a point about making sure that Section 702 of the FISA law, which allows the government to obtain the communications of foreigners outside the United States, including foreigners who may be planning attacks, needs to be beefed up so that Americans are not targeted, any person in the United States not targeted without a judicial order? There's Rand Paul expressing legitimate concerns. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. You know who had concerns about it?
President Trump?
He sure did. He
Yeah.
tweeted yesterday that this is the act that may have been used with the help of the discredited and phony dossier to so badly surveil and abuse the Trump campaign by the previous administration and others.
And with that single tweet, John Kelly ran to the Capitol, talked to Paul Ryan and others, and said, no, just because it was supposed to pass without a problem. And it eventually did. But once he tweeted that, people were worried, is the president still behind this?
Well, and this is Rand
that
Paul
caused
indicating that
concern.
Rand Paul's position, as he just articulated, is one that he articulated to the president, and the president was in agreement in principle. So we'll see what happens in the Senate, either with the filibuster or those reforms being advanced.
But also, President Trump tweeted that right after he was watching Fox News, and Judge Napolitano said this.
I don't understand why Donald Trump is in favor of this. His woes began with unlawful foreign surveillance and unconstitutional domestic surveillance of him before he was the president of the United States, and now he wants to institutionalize this. Mr. President, this is not the way to go.
Yeah, and he sent another tweet on the topic saying, I have personally directed the fix to the unmasking process since taking office, and today's vote is about foreign surveillance of foreign bad guys on foreign land. We need it. Get smart. Okay. So that's how he distinguished the two. So we'll see if Rand Paul was able to inveigh on him persuasively. But to Judge Napolitano's point, to Rand Paul's point, great tweet by Cheryl Atkinson, our friend, great investigative reporter. First, intel agencies weren't supposed to surveil U.S. citizens, but they did. Then they weren't supposed to store it, but they did. Then they weren't supposed to search it, but they did. Then they weren't supposed to unmask it, but they did. Then they weren't supposed to leak it.
But they did.
Ellipsis.
Yeah.
You get the point. The idea that Rand Paul is advancing is this is just like any other government power. It needs to be checked, and this perhaps is more important than most other government powers because of the intrusive nature of it. And so why would you believe politicians who say, trust me, I won't use this power here, rather than codifying it into law so there are criminal penalties attached if and when people do abuse the power, which government, I don't know if you've been paying attention, there is a certain tendency of government to overreach. You give them an inch and they take 1,000 miles. So to me, it seems like Rand Paul and Judge Napolitano and Cheryl Atkinson have it about right, and just kind of, the
But don't
balance.
we need that tool, though, in place to make sure there's terrorists not trying to kill us?
Yes, but that's Rand Paul's point. This is the balance between security and freedom and order, and it's a balance that can be struck. You want to make this the protection of Americans, the constitutional rights of Americans, those protections, robust, and inhibit, disincentivize all that we know has happened from inside the government, inside the intelligence community, from continuing to happen. Meanwhile, foreigners on foreign lands, they don't have constitutional rights. That's a different story, as Rand Paul distinguished. In addition to that, homegrown terrorists, domestic trouble spots, or individuals
like lone wolves and
right. Well, so go ahead, go get a warrant. Yeah, we're not suggesting anybody's immune from the law if they pose a public safety threat. Get a warrant. Follow the Constitution. Paul made the point. Just as we follow the Constitution when it comes to that terrorist who killed those people on that bikeway in New York. He's got a lawyer. He's getting a trial. He's getting due process. We follow the Constitution there. Why not here? Why not make sure it's clear that we expect the intelligence community to abide the Constitution as it pertains to Americans? I don't think that's unreasonable. Robert in Bloomingdale.
Hello?
Hey, Robert.
Good morning. Yeah, I think Trump's becoming a swamp creature. He loves the power of the presidency. He's starting to discover all he can do with it. And he's just going to go with the flow, he's going to let the neocons come back in, and we'll see a lot of changes in the future. And a lot of people that backed him aren't going to like him.
Well, okay. Thanks for the call, Robert. I mean, look, I repeat my philosophy about politicians. I don't fall in love with politicians. They're only going to break your heart if you do.
Oh, look at you.
That-
That sounds like a Hallmark card.
It is.
Don't fall in love with a politician. They're only going to break your heart.
Yeah, I sent that to Melania. She didn't listen. No, the point is they're means to policy ends. And so look at what they do, not what they say, and assess what they do in a policy direction. That should be the basis of how you decide. I know it isn't. I know most people decide based on personality or likability. I want to see what you do in advance of things I want to see happen, in advance of constitutional principles and a robust civil and civil society, a growing economy, all of those things that we talk about. See what you do in advance of that. And if you're moving the flag on those issues in the direction of free minds and free markets and a free society, super. And if you're not, then I'm going to have a problem with you. And I don't know why some people don't want to apply that same standard to Trump, that he should, every politician should be held to an equal standard that you set for them. By the way, on this topic, too, did you see this, that Julian Assange, speaking of...
He broke up with Pamela Anderson?
No.
Is it worse?
They can have their wedding and honeymoon in Quito because...
Quito? Really?
Because Julian Assange has been granted Ecuadorian nationality. Ecuadorian citizenship, excuse me.
So he can freely move around Ecuador?
Ecuador has granted citizenship to Assange, who's, of course, been holed up in their embassy in London.
For allegedly raping 2 Swedish women.
I
do believe they were Haitian.
I think
Haitian Swedes.
I think that case has been dismissed. Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
he's wanted on other charges.
I'm not saying Julian Assange is a good guy, and I'm not saying Edward Snowden is a good guy, but both are relevant to this discussion of FISA and surveillance by the deep state, and what we've learned through the actions of WikiLeaks and the actions of Edward Snowden. One of the things we learned through the actions of Edward Snowden, and this doesn't make him a hero, but we learned that the Director of National Intelligence under the Obama administration, Clapper, lied to us. And those are important things to know and considerations to factor in when you decide what FISA reauthorization should look like.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
We're back into the deep freeze, folks. It's not pleasant out there. We have 23 degrees right now, going up to a high of just 25. Some light snow showers, just a dusting. A low of 8 tonight, and your weekend looks like this. Saturday, cold, cloudy in the morning, then clouds, and some sun in the afternoon, a high of 18. On Sunday, we'll have some sunshine, then clouds, a high of 22 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Amy and Dad, it's been an ugly early morning on the roadways. Southeast side of Chicago, 100th Street is closed between Commercial Avenue and Avenue N after a triple fatal collision sporting. On the outbound Bishop Ford Freeway, there are closures at 159th, a major crash at 159th and Woodlawn, which has 159th closed in that area. This one involves a vehicle and a snowplow, and 3 ambulances responded. The outbound Ryan, it's jammed 83rd to 91st. 3 right lanes are blocked after a dump truck rolled over there. Elsewhere, delays so far fairly routine, though the Bishop Ford's heavier than usual on that inbound side. 30 minutes already. 8094 to the merge. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, as flu season approaches, you know how to protect yourself against colds and viruses, but do you know how to protect your computer network? Ransomware, viruses, hacks, intrusions, they can stop your computer's network, your company's computer network, in an instant. Is your network safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? If not, if you have any questions, then you need to call Turnkey IT today. Turnkey IT provides frontline security for your network and its data. So if there is an email attachment opened in error or network intruder, Turnkey IT immediately knows and remedies the situation. They will arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus, disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software systems to stop virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey's proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Email and the internet have done some wonderful things for business owners. There's more information at your fingertips, making decision-making a lot easier. The downside for some is the lost advice and interaction of working side by side with someone who can help. If you're looking for a business accountant that provides one-on-one service, call our newest business benefactor, James Cardelis of Archer Tax and Accounting. For example, at a recent visit to a small client, Archer Tax saved the family at least $60,000 through deferred capital gain taxes, probably forever. That does not happen with a monthly email of a data file. 2018 will be a crazy year for sole proprietors and small businesses with the new tax laws. If you want an idea of how your business will be affected and how to capitalize on the new rules, Archer Tax is offering a free consultation to discuss your needs one-on-one. Call 708-633-9854. Again, 708-633-9854, or visit archertax.biz today. The website again, archertax.biz.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. In 2018, the GOP's continued standing as the majority party will turn on the participation of culturally anxious voters, the people who appreciate the distinctions between liberty and libertinism, the people who understand the implications of erasing the lines between decency and indecency, the people who are respectful of the time, money, and lives of others, the people who recognize identity politics for the cultural poison that it is, the people who still talk of men and women without the cisgender modifier, the people whose lives are defined by the love of family and friends, not the popularity of a hashtag campaign. The people who will listen to rather than shout down an opposing viewpoint. The people who see things for what they are rather than redefine them through a distorted political lens. The people who believe in being their brother's keeper but don't believe they should be forced to be a sugar daddy. It won't be a single issue. It's not going to be a question of one accomplishment or one failure. It'll turn on whether or not Republicans let cultural Marxists run roughshod over people in their offices, their churches, and their kids' schools. The GOP's majority status will turn on its ability to serve as political Xanax to the cultural anxious.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and I'm excited to tell our listeners that own or manage companies about a company you likely haven't heard of. I know that sounds strange, but with over 30 years in business, they've never had to advertise. They're that good. Anion Blinds is a local company that shares our values and have been selling and installing blinds, rolling shades, shutters, and motorized window treatments to area businesses for over 3 decades. And every review is positive. You'll be amazed how cost-effective it is working with experts who can recommend the right products, install them, and guarantee all their work. From property managers and Fortune 500 companies in need of replacement window treatments to startups in the decoration phase, Anion Blinds does everything right. Call competitively priced Anion Blinds today for your window treatment consultation at 630-662-1621 or visit AnionBlinds.com. That's ANION Blinds.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
Mike Gallagher wants to bring you a different kind of show.
There are plenty of hosts There are plenty of writers. There are plenty of pundits. There are plenty of congressmen. There are plenty of people who criticize Donald Trump every minute of every hour of every day, and I don't do that on this show. I want you to come here and have a different experience.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
5:57, a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Let's get the very latest now with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the Ryan Expressway outbound, traffic is jammed in the area from around just before 83rd Street to 91st. There was a rollover dump truck. 3 right lanes remain blocked. It's 25 minutes to get from downtown to 95th, inbound 21. Bishop Ford Freeway. Inbound delays start at the Stony Island feeder. It's already 30 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. Outbound delay free, but there are ramp closures at 159th after a major collision at 159th and Woodlawn in South Holland, which has 159th Street still closed in that area. On Eisenhower, tight First Avenue to Des Plaines Avenue, 31 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound okay. The heat into the Kennedy are fine. Stevenson, 3-minute delay central to Pulaski. And the Ryan, 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. We have snow-related delays in northwest Indiana, mainly affecting 94 in Porter and LaPorte counties. The Indiana Toll Road as well in Porter and LaPorte counties. Speeds are reduced due to the snow. Traffic is a service of Match.com. Dating can be fun. You're ready for a real relationship. Ready for Match. Go to Match.com/love for 7 days free. This free offer is only at Match.com/love. Match.com/love. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Just ahead of a full update from Fox News, here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly cloudy and breezy with a snow shower, high 25. Mostly cloudy, brisk, and colder tonight with a low 8. Frigid tomorrow, cloudy in the morning, then clouds and sun for the afternoon. High tomorrow, 18. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 22 at O'Hare, 23 along the lakefront. Winds out of the northwest at 16. We have a wind chill of 3 above. And the news is a service of Accountemps. Finding highly skilled accounting and finance pros can be a challenge. Accountemps can help with Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors. You can be sure to find the right person for the exact hiring you need. Visit Accountemps.com. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following this morning. 3 are dead following a fiery crash on Chicago's far south side. An investigation underway following the death of a 1-year-old girl this week on Chicago's west side. Chicago police investigating after a candidate running for Illinois Attorney General was robbed at gunpoint on the northwest side. Sam's Club locations closing around the Chicago area. The Fighting Illini still winless in Big Ten basketball, and the Blackhawks welcome the Jets to the UC tonight. More Dan and Amy after Fox. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
What President Trump said hits the fan. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The president stepped into new controversy over what he said while discussing immigration reform.
The president using an obscenity to blast immigrants coming from African countries in Haiti, saying, quote, "Why are we having all these people from blank hole countries come here?" He stunned a small group of lawmakers in the Oval Office, questioning why the U.S. isn't focused on bringing more immigrants from countries like, say, Norway instead.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. The White House didn't deny the comment, but said the president will always fight for the American people. Democrats are angry. Congressman Luis Gutierrez says we can now say with 100% confidence the president is a racist. There's a reaction around the world, too. Fox's Simon Owen live in London.
Dave, South Africa's ruling party calling the comments, quote, extremely offensive.
Ours is not a shithole country, neither is Haiti or any other country in distress.
Senior party official Jesse Duarte saying the U.S. has its own problems, but we wouldn't make comments as derogatory as these. The African Union, which represents Africa's 55 countries, saying the statement flies in the face of all accepted behavior. And a spokesman for the UN's Human Rights Office says the remark is racist. Dave?
Simon, they keep digging in the mud in Montecito, California for dozens of people still unaccounted for after the flash floods and mudslides that killed 17 others. A police officer shot in the parking lot of Charlotte Police Headquarters in North Carolina by a man who
pulled in and basically ambushed
our officers.
Police Chief Kerr Putney says the gunman was a suspect in a murder earlier yesterday and was killed as cops returned fire. The officer was shot, has non-life-threatening injuries. They handed out the Critics' Choice Awards last night. The Shape of Water won Best Picture, Wonder Woman Best Action Movie, The Big Sick Best Comedy. Winners for TV, The Handmaid's Tale, Big Little Lies, and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Fox News, fair and balanced.
President Trump will deliver his first State of the Union address on Tuesday, January 30th. And to mark the occasion, AM 560 The Answer is throwing a party. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Avante Banquets in Fox River Grove. Enjoy a 3-course meal as you watch the speech with fellow AM 560 listeners. Tickets are on sale now for just $56 at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by StoreLock.
If you have a new or existing business, understanding building and zoning codes, obtaining permits, licenses, and inspections can be a time-consuming nightmare. Well, I got a guy. I should say a fine company. Premier Consulting Group and my friend Bill Gritsonis is the company to call. From city and suburban retail business to residential and high-rise building permits, PCG holds your hand from the beginning to the very end. Bill and his veteran team have decades of experience and a commitment to meeting client needs. Your business will benefit from expedited permits and the peace of mind knowing that your business is in complete compliance. So I highly suggest you call my guy, Bill Gritsonis, and his team at Premier Consulting Group before your next project. Call Bill Gritsonis at 312-263-4599 or visit PCGconsultinginc.com. That number, 312-263-4599, or online at PCGconsultinginc.com. Call Bill Gritsonis at 312-263-4599 or visit PCGconsultinginc.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Attention, the soda tax is dead. Hello, this is Cook County Commissioner Sean M. Morrison. Congratulations. Effective December 1st of 2017, the Cook County sweetened beverage tax is dead. Your stand against this bad tax won the day. I fought hard against President Preckwinkle's soda pop tax from the beginning, but sadly it passed. But I refuse to give in to the constant taxing from our working families' pockets only to feed big government. So I led the Can the Tax campaign, and I sponsored the repeal ordinance to vote out the soda tax. Desperate, President Preckwinkle brought in New York billionaire Michael Bloomberg, and he spent $13 million in vain trying to keep her pop tax alive. But Cook County residents said enough and demanded their commissioners support my soda tax repeal. As for me, well, both Michael Bloomberg and President Preckwinkle have vowed to knock me out of office. But that decision will be up to you and not them. Again, this is Sean M. Morrison, your Cook County Commissioner. Thank you for your support. And don't forget, ding dong, the tax is dead.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, amid the firestorm of rebuke directed at President Trump for his S-hole comment about countries in Central America and Africa, the other news of the day, kind of in the general vicinity of that topic, is the movement towards a deal on DACA and border security. Trump gave an interview to the Wall Street Journal, it's posted yesterday, in which he accused that FBI agent Strzok of treason, among other things. But we'll get to that later.
Well, President Trump just tweeted, the so-called bipartisan DACA deal presented yesterday to myself and a group of Republican senators and congressmen was a big step backwards. Wall was not properly funded. Chain and lottery were made worse, and USA would be forced to take large numbers of people from high crime countries.
Well, here, okay. So here's what he said to the Journal, too. I mean, kind of sort of that tweet, I think, is consistent with reiterating his position. He said to the Journal yesterday that we're getting close. This must have been before the broad strokes of the proposal was delivered. I have a great feeling for DACA. I think we should be able to do something with DACA. I think it's foolish if we don't. They've been here a long time. They're no longer children, you know. People talk of them as children. I mean, some are 41 years old and older, but some are in their teens. Nevertheless, I think we should do something with DACA, and I think we should do something to help people. It wasn't their fault. Their parents came in. It wasn't their fault. But he reiterated his position on getting rid of the diversity visa lottery, getting rid of chain migration, and, of course, the emphasis on border security. The broad strokes of what was included in this deal, reported in the Daily Beast. So if this is accurate, it sounds like it may be accurate based on Trump's characterization of it, because I wouldn't think, based on what he said, that this would be acceptable. But here's what this bipartisan group of 5 white guys, as Pelosi called them, we'll get to her, came up with. Codifying legal protections for DACA recipients that would put them on a path to citizenship. The deal also would undo another Trump decision, Amy, the termination of TPS, temporary protected status, for certain groups of immigrants, including the 200,000 Salvadorians who could face an end to their legal status in September 2019. So that would undo that.
Okay. What about the Haitians? Would it undo that too?
Well,
and the Nicaraguans and the Sudanese?
This is not exhaustive. It would undo the termination of TPS would be undone for certain groups, including the Salvadorans. I don't know, it wasn't reported every single group, but also in terms of path to citizenship for DACA recipients, they'd have to wait 12 years from the time they're awarded protected status before they can gain citizenship. That was according to one congressional source that talked to the Daily Beast. They can earn up to 2 years of credit for any time spent as a DACA beneficiary. The deal would revamp but not end the visa lottery program. The formula for so-called chain migration would be redrawn in a way that alters the ability of those DACA recipients to sponsor their relatives for legal status. And then there would also be moves to strengthen E-Verify that allows businesses to determine the legal status and eligibility of workers they hire, and also include at least $1 billion for new technology in terms of border security investment.
$1 billion? Okay.
$1 billion. So that was the outlines of the deal as reported, and if that's true, then you can understand why President Trump responded the way he did, because it doesn't sound like that's enough for him, and saying it's not enough for him is consistent, frankly, with what he said at that televised hour-long negotiation session.
Yeah, and then what's important to him is the wall. And he even tweeted that 10 minutes ago. The wall was not properly funded. $1 billion is not enough. He wanted $18 billion to fund a wall.
And Tom Cotton, senator from Arkansas, has weighed in on this, noting the Democrats' change of heart when it comes to border security, and wondering why that is.
There does seem to have been a shift in Democratic elite opinion here. In 2006, Chuck Schumer and Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton all voted for the Secure Fence Act. And here we are just 12 years later, and we don't have that built, and there seems to be strong resistance among a lot of Democrats.
What do you think it is? Is it simply just trying to play politics and deny the president a victory? What is it?
I'll let the Democrats speak for themselves. But I think
we've been trying to, but none of them will talk to us.
Most Americans realize that part of security at our border is a physical barrier. You can call it a wall, you can call it a fence. It obviously has to be supplemented by Border Patrol agents and technology, and that's part of the negotiations right now. But it has to include a physical barrier, as we already have in several places along our southern border.
So it's not just us. You've detected a change too.
There's been a bit of a change since Chuck Schumer voted just 12 years ago for over 700 miles of secure double fencing at our southern border.
Yeah, how about it? He voted for it, and did those other Democrats, and it didn't materialize. And so you can understand the skepticism among some Republicans and the hard line, sort of, that Trump is taking, at least on that portion of any deal, because it's got to get done. You can't just shine me on. You can't just pay lip service to it, and then we get the deal done for DACA recipients, and we don't get, our portion of the deal consummated. That's the problem, and that's been a problem for some time. So that's part of it. And then Nancy Pelosi, she's the House Minority Leader, gave a rather incredible statement yesterday.
What'd she do now?
Considering the 5 white guys that were leading the DACA negotiation, included, our own Durbin bag, Senator Dick Durbin, as well as Steny Hoyer, her minority whip. Listen to Nancy Pelosi on the team that was trying to assemble a deal on DACA and border security.
The 5 white guys, I call them, I said, you going to open a hamburger stand next or what?
I don't get it.
That could have been done 4 months ago. The very idea that this week they're saying, oh, why don't we get 4 white guys and General Kelly to come and do this? You have to understand, in our caucus, we are blessed with great diversity. The understanding of the issues, the ability to translate policy into the lives of people, the sensitivity even on the wording is really important for people who have been engaged in these issues to be there at the table.
Yeah. Wow. That's
she meant 5 guys because the burger place 5 guys.
Oh.
Have you eaten there yet?
Is it 5 guys or 5 white guys? 5 guys.
5 guys.
Yeah, right.
That's what you meant. 5 guys. She was trying to be hip, man. She's trying to be cool. I'm down with the struggle. Whoa.
So, okay, all right. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt on that because I'm a generous soul. What about the other piece of this? Steny Hoyer, her minority whip, responded to her comment saying, that comment is offensive. I'm committed to ensuring dreamers are protected, and I will welcome everyone to the table who wants to get this done. I mean, this is so consumed by identity politics is the left, is the 21st century Democrat Party. They're cannibalizing their own leadership. Everybody's offended by, not everybody, but a lot of people are offended by Trump's S-hole comments. Meanwhile, Steny Hoyer has to fend off his minority leader. And he's trying to do her bidding and their party's bidding in terms of this negotiation. Do you need to have come from El Salvador or Haiti? Do you need to have had DACA status in order to negotiate a deal? This is, of course, the juvenile approach to policymaking that suggests one has to have experienced something in order to comment on it or participate in a resolution of it. Really? All the world's problems, you need to have experienced them, or you need to be a person of color, because when we're talking about DACA designees, they're mainly people of color. Not all.
No.
Obviously, there's a lot of immigrants to this country. They're not
from Poland,
Central America,
Russia.
or Africa.
Africa? What's Africa?
I said they're not from Central America or Africa,
oh, okay.
Asia, Europe. I mean, her comments are just jarring to me. Am I losing it, or is Nancy Pelosi losing it? Because one of us is losing it.
I'm going to go with Nancy Pelosi for 500.
What do you think about the proposed deal on DACA that apparently Trump is rejecting? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. By the way, Nancy Pelosi, just to buttress my case that she's the one losing it. It's her, right? Why is it always the other guy? Maybe it's you. Pelosi, she got some Martin Luther King Day plans. It's Monday, right?
Yeah, right. Kiddies are off school again.
It's
moving day.
How would it be appropriate to remember Martin Luther King and his leadership on civil rights and ending the pernicious Jim Crow laws and making this country live up to its promise to treat people equally under the law and to have a law that reflects the color blindness that we aspire to? How would you best memorialize that and Martin Luther King's life?
Well, I always think kids should be in school studying him that day and listening to his speech and then writing an essay, how they feel about it or what they've learned from him and how they think times have changed or they haven't changed since that speech was delivered.
Maybe you reread a letter from a Birmingham jail or something like this. Not Nancy Pelosi. Pelosi
What's she going to
is
do?
going to honor Martin Luther King Jr. this weekend.
By drumroll?
By holding town hall teach-ins across the country about the GOP tax scam.
Or there's that.
Yeah. Because if there's one thing that we remember Martin Luther King for, tax increases. Being a strong advocate for tax increases. Soaking the rich. I have a dream to soak the rich. I have a dream to grow government. I don't remember those passages in his remarks or his writings, but I mean, Nancy Pelosi obviously is a more of a scholar on the topic than I am. And, to her credit, she has said that the GOP tax cuts represent the end of the world. Armageddon.
That's right.
Her words. So there's that. Grant in Rockford, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, as long as we get the wall, no more chain migration, no more lottery, you're never going to deport the 800,000 or whatever number they decide to make up. So you let them stay, but they can't vote for 25 years. That way the Democrats don't get what they want, and we get most of what we want, which is, I suppose, the essence of what we're looking for here. And Dan, Miss Pelosi's butter separates from her noodles a long time ago, so I'm pretty sure that you're on the right course.
All right.
Good one.
Thanks, Grant. George in Libertyville.
You know what? You got to hand it to Trump. The truth is, and I hope they spin it this way, he's the only adult in the room. Look at what this guy has been dealt with, Dan. North Korea, ISIS, what's going on with the Saudis, taxes. The guy is just like he said. He goes, "I'll take the heat. I don't care." And I agree with the earlier caller. Let him stay. You don't vote, and we get the wall. Good negotiation is when everybody walks away slightly pissed off, right?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, George. Appreciate it. Lewis in Texas.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Morning.
My comment is, I kind of don't agree with Trump on this. And I'm a pretty big Trump supporter, but at the same time, I understand the reason why he's doing it. He's trying to tell people, show them that, hey, listen, just because you come here illegally and you're staying here for 10, 20 years, stuff like that, doesn't mean that I'm going to hold and give in to your demand. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Pretty much, that's the main purpose that he's trying to get across. I think it is political. I think he's trying to, get some of the things that he wants. He's trying to do a little back and forth battle. But for me, that's the way I see it. I mean, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. We're having a little phone problem, Lewis, but thanks for the call. We got the gist of it. Appreciate it.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
It's so frustrating. But we have bigger problems than that, right? Coming up, why did President Trump cancel his trip to London? But first, here's your forecast. Mostly cloudy, breezy, much cooler than yesterday, folks. We have a high of, 23 degrees right now, going up to a high of 25 degrees with a little dusting of snow. No big deal. Weekend looks like this. Saturday, cold, cloudy in the morning, then some sun in the afternoon, a high of 18. And on Sunday, sun, some clouds, and a high of 22 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Amy and Dan, it's been a nasty morning on the roadway. Southeast side of Chicago, east side neighborhood, 100th Street is closed. Commercial Avenue and Avenue N. This is after a major triple fatal collision there. South Holland, 159th is blocked. In the Bishop Ford Freeway in Woodlawn after a crash. And the ramps, couple of them there in that area at the Bishop Ford and 159th are closed as well. And on the Bishop Ford, it's really heavy inbound this morning with the delays starting around 115th. 40 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan, outbound 5 at 15. And the Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown, but outbound 25. Crash at 91st, blocking 3 right lanes. A dump truck involved. Eden's okay. Kennedy, 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 20. The Eisenhower's in good shape. At 32 minutes, 390 to the Circle. Outbound, there's a crash at Independence on the right side. Stevenson, 39 minutes, 355 to the drive. Lake effect snow is slowing travel in Porter and LaPorte counties. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. In 2018, the GOP's continued standing as the majority party will turn on the participation of culturally anxious voters, the people who appreciate the distinctions between liberty and libertinism, the people who understand the implications of erasing the lines between decency and indecency, the people who are respectful of the time, money, and lives of others, the people who recognize identity politics for the cultural poison that it is, the people who still talk of men and women without the cisgender modifier, the people whose lives are defined by the love of family and friends, not the popularity of a hashtag campaign. The people who will listen to rather than shout down an opposing viewpoint. The people who see things for what they are rather than redefine them through a distorted political lens. The people who believe in being their brother's keeper but don't believe they should be forced to be a sugar daddy. It won't be a single issue. It's not going to be a question of one accomplishment or one failure. It'll turn on whether or not Republicans let cultural Marxists run roughshod over people in their offices, their churches, and their kids' schools. The GOP's majority status will turn on its ability to serve as political Xanax to the culturally anxious.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. According to creditcard.com, cardholders in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan are carrying over $33,000 of debt on their credit cards. The Federal Reserve recently increased the interest rates a quarter of a point, which, according to credit enhancement expert Gary Novell, will increase the average credit card holder's interest payments $825 a year. The good news is home values have rebounded, so now is an excellent time to use your home's equity to eliminate your stress, pay off credit card debt, and lower your monthly payments. To see if you can use your home's equity to pay off your debt, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358, and MLS 19186.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, we did it. We met our goal for Food for the Poor, and we want to take a minute to say thank you to each and every one of you who participated in our annual Food for the Poor campaign. Because of you, we were able to raise close to $200,000 to provide food for a year and clean water for life for 3,200 children and their families in countries throughout Latin America, places such as Haiti, the Caribbean islands, and Puerto Rico. And we're especially grateful to the many business benefactors who supported this campaign. When you hear their ads on the station, we'd ask that you support their businesses as a way of saying thanking them for their generosity. And just because this Christmas season is over, the need does not go away. If you still would like to make a $50 donation to Food for the Poor, call 847-862-4673. And thanks again for your generosity.
Here's a fun story. Is Italy racist?
Is who?
Italy.
Italy.
Racist. You know, Mario Batali, he gone. Italy.
Italy. Not Italy. The country.
Oh, my. Is Amy Jacobson racist? And does she have a hearing problem? You could answer either one of those questions. Italy received a complaint from a customer for a marketing promo at one of their stations that urged customers, this is for an ad for wine, urged customers, bring home an Italian, great legs, better body.
Oh, that's awesome.
What? Right?
Well, great legs.
Great legs, better body.
Legs
a
has
wine
nothing
ad.
to do with wine. Body means like the bold body of the wine.
The Tribune, Kim Jansen, and of course I was not surprised to see Kim Jansen's byline on this idiotic story. Leaked emails find that the social media managers at Italy were game planning how to respond to this crisis calm problem of a customer complaint.
Was one customer complaint?
Yeah. Lawyer Brittany Pape, who is of Italian descent, asked for the offensive ad to be removed because it's tone deaf considering the sexual misconduct allegations against Mario Batali.
Oh.
Also, Luis Rego, who's the president of the Italian American Human Relations Foundation, said whoever approved the ad should be fired because it's trading on an offensive and negative image of Italians. It is?
No.
Oh, this
It's just funny.
And he was also upset with another one depicting a truffle, urged customers to bring home an Italian worth the smell.
That's not funny. I like the legs and body one better.
But I mean,
yeah, come on. People don't stop getting your panties in a bunch.
by the way,
over that.
Brittany Pape, who complained about the wine ad,
Yeah.
she has a dog named Cannoli.
Oh, racist!
I think if you have a dog named Cannoli, you're not allowed to make complaints about tone deafness or, disparaging persons of Italian heritage.
Come here, little cannoli. Sit cannoli. Roll over cannoli.
You know what I'm going to do to
What?
this? I'm going to write a letter to the Tribune complaining about this story, and then demand that a story be written about no one responding to my complaints about the story. That this is 21st century journalism in Chicago.
Phew.
Wine ads at Italy.
Scusi, Barbara Boopy?
No, now we're going to get a letter.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Undercover at Twitter is James O'Keefe and Project Veritas at 6:36.
And James DeFranco didn't show up for the awards ceremony yesterday because the Time's Up hashtag may be indicating something about him. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
23 degrees, cloudy skies, a wind chill of 3 above this morning, and world leaders condemning the president's crude and vulgar remarks, comparing certain poor countries to toilets. The Washington Post broke the news that the president had used the vulgar expression to describe countries like Haiti, El Salvador, and some African countries while discussing immigration in the Oval Office. The Information Ministry of Somalia this morning calling the president's vulgar comments fake news that does not deserve a response. However, some Haitian Americans are responding, like Congresswoman Mia Love.
My parents, they never took anything. They did everything they can to contribute to society. And That's the American dream. That's where that comes from. I know because I'm living it.
Love called on the president to apologize. Walmart closing dozens of Sam's Club discount warehouses across the nation, some closing immediately. Coming on the same day, the company announced that it was raising starting hourly wages for Walmart workers. It's a grim search this morning through muck and rubble that continues in Montecito, California, for more survivors of Tuesday's deadly mudslide that claimed 17 lives. Santa Barbara Fire Captain Gary Pitney says increasingly the likelihood is beginning to go up that they'll be finding bodies, not survivors. The IRS rolls out a new income tax withholding guideline. U.S. Treasury Secretary expecting about 90% of Americans will see an increase in take-home pay by February 15. Ford urging owners of an older model pickup to stop driving it immediately. The unprecedented request from an American automaker comes after Ford confirmed a second death caused by a defective Takata airbag found in 2006 Ranger pickups. 3 are dead following a fiery crash on Chicago's far south side. It's happened in the 3300 block of East 100th Street. A Naperville man accused of stabbing his mother to death this week in DuPage County. Kevin James ordered held on $3 million bail. A man accused of killing his father in Hoffman Estates is held without bail. Alex Tarazik appeared in court yesterday on murder charges in the death of Walter Tarazik. Illinois still winless in Big Ten basketball, falling to Iowa in overtime, 104-97. Bears turning to a former college head coach as their new offensive coordinator. ESPN reporting Matt Nagy bringing in former Oregon coach Mark Helfrich to be their OC. Blackhawks on the ice tonight, welcoming the Jets to the UC. The news a service of Accountemps. Finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Accountemps can help. With Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 6:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager has changed his tune on higher education.
Why is America not uprising against the evil crap that permeates our colleges? I actually admire young people who don't go to college now. I never thought I'd say that. But I certainly don't hold it against them. When we hire, it makes zero difference to me if they went to college or not. Zero.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Progressive Insurance, comparing car insurance rates from multiple insurers so shoppers can evaluate options in one place. Now that's Progressive. Comparisons available at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
6:35, a check of our morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Southeast side of Chicago, 100th Street remains closed between Commercial Avenue and Avenue N after a major crash during the overnight hours. South Holland, 159th closed. Woodlawn to the Bishop Ford Freeway after a big collision. The ramp closures there as well at the Bishop Ford. South Shoreline trains are stopped right now on the westbound side. This is affecting at least 3 trains at the moment. There's apparently a crossing gate and an overhead wire. So we'll be keeping an eye on the South Shoreline, but prepare to find an alternate way to get around this morning. Kennedy inbound, a little tight Coming out of the River Road Toll, we're looking at a travel time of 25 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 22, Edens with a 2-minute delay inbound approaching the junction. The Eisenhower, 35 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30, Stevenson, 43 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 35. Bryan, 22 minutes, 95 to downtown. Outbound 25. 3 right lanes are closed at 91st after a dump truck rolled over. Bishop Ford, 45 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, breezy, much colder. We'll have snow showers. In fact, snow flurries are overspreading the area as we speak. High 25. Cloudy, brisk and colder overnight. Low 8. And a high of 18 tomorrow. Currently 22 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Build the wall first. Don't talk about anything else. Secure the border first. Don't talk about anything else until that's done. We'll talk about that when Freedom returns at 5.
Anything else?
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So another undercover project by James O'Keefe, Project Veritas, this time talking to engineers at Twitter about how they regulate content and ban those with unpopular viewpoints effectively. It's interesting, particularly in light of the James Damore suit, class action suit against Google for essentially ideological discrimination. And the Prager University suit against YouTube and Google.
Which we're going to have the
for the same
CEO of Prager University on at 8:38.
Yeah, Marissa Streit. Marissa Streit is her name. We talked about it the other day, and the question is, these are private companies. You don't have a First Amendment right to post on Twitter or YouTube or access Google or be treated the same by Google. There's no constitutional right. So are these suits that are a good way of doing a couple things, as is this undercover operation by O'Keefe, good way of raising the profile so that everybody knows that you have the ideological left in control of the big players in social media and with respect to search engines. That's useful. But should they be required to be ideologically neutral? Should they be required by the law, to be ideologically neutral? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. James O'Keefe talking to a number of individuals, specifically about Trump's tweets and how Twitter deals with Trump's tweets and, how they want to help take Trump down. This is one of his undercover reporters with a network security engineer named Clay Haynes, Twitter.
It was not my decision. The decision, though, was that most of the stuff he tweets is completely newsworthy.
Okay.
And so because it's newsworthy, even though he's making a complete ass out of himself in the country, we have to let those tweets up and let him do what, essentially he has a carte blanche to do whatever he wants.
Okay.
The other thing too is that we're more than happy to help the Department of Justice in their little investigation.
Okay.
So
how?
Basically give him every single tweet that he's posted.
Okay.
Even the ones he's deleted.
Okay.
Any direct messages.
Good.
Any mentions. Oh yeah. So it's.
I'm glad that you're doing that. Like something.
Yeah.
Something needs to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the point is that they're the way it sounds is we don't know this for certain, but they're proactively providing Department of Justice with all of Trump's tweets, even the deleted ones or DMs or whatever. And they're within their rights to do so. Again, it's a privilege to use the Twitter platform. It's not a constitutional right. But it is interesting because, and O'Keefe points this out, Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, rallied to the defense of Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, when Apple refused to comply with the FBI to, break into a smartphone that the FBI wanted broken into. Remember?
For that terrorist suspect. They needed information from his phone. What was it? Was it
I
the
think it was
Orlando
a drug
guy?
dealer.
Or
Oh no, yeah,
No, it was the
it
Orlando,
was.
was
It
it?
was. You're right. Yeah,
The
yeah.
Orlando
It wasn't.
shooter.
It was the Orlando shooter.
and they
Was it?
refused to help.
Yeah, but regardless, so,
Eventually they
yeah.
did.
Well, no, actually, the FBI ultimately figured it out.
Oh, they figured out on their
Yeah.
own. Okay.
But he was all for Tim Cook and Apple resisting the government's request. But when it comes to Trump, he is potentially proactively providing information to the Department of Justice. It's just interesting. Shows how different individuals are treated differently when political interests are at stake, and goes on to talk about how they're helping DOJ.
You should look at junior and senior and see what's in there. You know what I mean?
Have you seen?
There's a reason why we have subpoena process for that very reason.
Okay.
Wow. But yeah, we can absolutely look at every single message, every single tweet, whenever you logged into, what profile pictures you uploaded, what profile pictures that you thought you were going to do.
Are you working with DOJ currently on that?
I can't comment, and if I knew, I wouldn't comment.
All right, so he won't comment. That's Clay Haynes again. Won't comment if they're currently working with DOJ. So there's that. But here's the perspective of Clay Haynes, and then you hear this repeated by Twitter engineers, other Twitter engineers that were spoken with.
On one hand, yes, he's dangerous. I don't like him, and he's a terrible human being, and I want to get rid of him. In fact, we had internal reviews about that, and we were I wasn't the only one that basically said that if we let this maniac, something along the lines of if we let this maniac continue, I'm going to have a hard time finding another job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I don't like being part of the machine that is contributing to the America's downfall.
So the effort to undermine Trump within the limits of what Twitter can do, the feeling is that he's using their platform to end America. So content review, just generally speaking now, getting beyond Trump to conservatives and regulating point-of-view content. They spoke with a Kant review tech named Mo Narai, did James O'Keefe and his team.
Let's say it was a pro-Trump thing, and I am anti-Trump. I was like, I banned this whole account. It'll go to you. And then it's at your discretion. And if you're anti-Trump, you're like, oh, you know what, Mo was right. Let it go.
Narai's job at Twitter was to review content flagged as harmful, offensive, or in violation of Twitter policy, and ban it if it was. Content review is an integral part of any social media platform, but as Narai describes, it is highly susceptible to abuse.
On stuff like that, it was more discretion on your viewpoint. I guess how you felt about a particular matter.
Oh, so it wasn't automated. It was a user and services person would deem it pro-Trump and take it down.
For example, they said, oh, this is pro-Trump, I don't want it because, it offends me, this, that. I say, I ban this whole thing, and it goes over, and you're like, oh, you know what, I don't like it too. You know what, Mo's right, let's go. That's it. You're like, Mo's right, let's carry on. What's next? Keep it coming.
Yeah, bring me another one to take down. Yeah.
Narai goes on to describe the unwritten rules at Twitter.
They were kind of unwritten rules as far as the content that they would allow or disallow.
A lot of unwritten rules, and being that we're in San Francisco, we're in California, very blue state, you have to be, as a company you can't really say it because it'll make you look bad, but behind closed doors, a lot of stuff was like, hey, you have to do this way, or something like that. It was never written, it was more said.
Yeah, basically saying you had to be liberal.
Right.
Yeah, that's
and they let liberal Twitterers such as Chelsea Handler go on. Did you see what she tweeted yesterday? Holy FF, I just saw the video of Trump's bipartisan meeting. Hey, at Lindsey Graham, what kind of blank video do they have on you for you to be acting like this? Wouldn't it be coming out, be more honorable?
Mm-hmm.
Are you, and what, it was vulgar and crass, but yes, they banned Milo Yiannopoulos from Twitter.
And they also talk about shadow banning, where you don't know you're banned. They just don't let anybody other than your followers see your tweets, so you feel like your content is not getting responded to.
I never heard about that. Shadow banning?
Shadow banning. They talked about that. and just talked about, essentially banning conservatives as opposed to liberals, elevating liberals and liberal content and getting rid of the bad conservative content.
I've heard talk that it's a good thing because they'll use it to ban like Trump supporters or conservatives. So I didn't know if that's just a rumor or if that's true.
That's a thing.
That's a thing?
That's a thing. Yeah.
So how? How was that done?
Okay. Basically, Twitter is like a huge set of the tweets and a load of filters on top of it.
Okay.
That's one of the filters on top of it.
Okay.
That's about it.
So just talking about filtering out Twitter users that are pro-Trump or pro-Trump content. Now, there's the legitimate thing about trying to write algorithms to filter out bots and use machine learning to solve the problems of bots, these bot accounts. But multiple engineers can see to the point that they're focused on filtering out conservatives or diminishing conservative presence, pro-Trump presence in particular, as compared to liberals, because that's the ideological perspective. You heard it from tech engineers. You heard it from content review techs. And so is Twitter well within their rights to do that? I mean, the same way, this is just a different communication channel, the same way that CNN, the same way that network affiliates and the newscasts have long filtered out conservative content. They long make editorial decisions based on the stories they choose to cover and the stories they don't, and how they choose to cover them. That's all point of view discrimination, if you will. So why should Twitter or YouTube or Google be forced to carry content they don't want to carry? Now, as long as, and then it becomes transparent, and Twitter or these other platforms become known as conservatives are not welcome. And so it becomes an echo chamber, just like these nightly newscasts became echo chambers and gave rise in the digital age to all these other media outlets. My point is to say, is competition the best way to address this issue, or is litigation like a Prager University suit or the James Damore suit the best way to address it? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
I say sue them.
Okay. One for litigation.
I mean, remember when Milo got banned from Twitter and we were at the RNC? And I don't know if you were there that night, but people were storming and screaming because the Twitter booth was near where Milo was set up. And because that is his everything. Back then, Twitter was the way he reached his fans, and he was begging, like, what are you doing? And you can't take me off. You can't ban me from Twitter. And they're like, yes, we can. And it was just because they don't like conservatives. They want to silence certain voices. But then you have somebody like Chelsea Handler, who's disgusting and just vile in what she wrote and swearing all over the place about Lindsey Graham, making accusations that he might be gay, and they don't care. They didn't even tap her, slap her on the wrist for that one.
Yeah, but there's no underlying right to be on Twitter.
But if Milo wasn't conservative, he would still be on Twitter.
Well, so what?
The point is
to say you don't have a right to be here. You're here at my pleasure. It's the same thing. You don't have a right to be in my home. You're here at my pleasure. If I say get off my private property, then get off my private property. Why is that different with Twitter? Even if it's somebody that, Milo's being treated differently than Chelsea Handler. Right, I have a right to do that. It's my property. Okay. Mike in Crown Point, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, guys. I just want to make a point that the same type of skewing takes place in political polls. This New York Times, whatever, you can structure a poll based on sampling and how you word a question to get any results you want. Same idea.
Thanks for the call, Mike. I mean, yes, you can do that. That doesn't mean all polling firms or all polls do that. But, of course, you can wire a poll based on sample and angle of questions that get the results you want. That's true. Ken in Plainfield.
Yeah, I would say it's the same thing as, the case of suing a baker who won't make a cake for a gay couple. Hoist them by their own petard.
Right, but by doing that, are we hoisting ourselves by our own petard while hoisting them by their own petard? My point is to say, yes, so now gays are a protected class and they have a right to make claims. I mean, in some jurisdictions, and that's the angle they're taking, to make claims on other people's private property and work product, even demand specific performance. So we want to get conservatives to play that same game, that same big government game?
I think at some point you have to fight fire with fire. I mean, if they're blanking us out, it's kind of like, Fox News or your station coming to the fore. You have to put your viewpoint out there, and sometimes you got to do what you have to do to get it out there.
All right, thanks for the call, Ken. Well, if somebody said to me, well, you have to give equal time to the left on this show. No. That's not what the show is.
That's why I'm here.
Well, yeah, right. But that's not what the show is. So if I have Paul Ryan on, I have to have Nancy Pelosi on. No. So why should Twitter have to abide a standard? Why should Twitter have to abide that standard effectively? Treat viewpoints with equal weight. Give them equal bandwidth. Scott in Hanover Park.
Hey, good morning. There are actually subtle differences. Google, YouTube, Twitter, all internet stuff, private companies. When you talk about broadcast, they get licenses from the FCC.
Yeah.
And they're obligated to operate within the public trust. That definition needs to be vetted out because if you look at it, it's already known, mainstream media, the licensed folks, that's 98% negative Trump. That isn't necessarily operating in the public trust. That's not giving equal opportunity for different viewpoints so media stays objective. And that's the problem we've got. No, you got to define that and then hold the licensees. NBC can't get in trouble, but their New York office can, their Chicago office can, their LA office can because they've got individual licenses. And that's how you affect and address the unevenness, if you will, of the reporting.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Scott. I mean, that's a fair point about the licensure, but I mean, this pursuit of objective news, stop it. There's no such thing. There never was, and there never will be. People have points of view. The stories you choose to cover, as I said, the way you choose to cover them, it's informed by your viewpoint, what you think is newsworthy, the angle you think is most newsworthy.
Right. So you're saying right-leaning publications are biased too?
Thank you, Fox Butterfield. Right-leaning publications are biased. Yes,
No,
you answered your own question.
I'm just saying.
No, but you answered your own question. Right-leaning, yes, they have a perspective. Yeah. The point is to say, be transparent about your perspective, and then people can factor it out. Don't pretend that you're an objective scrivener of what's happening on the across the fruited plains. You're not. Just stop it. Dennis in Chicago.
Hey, Dan and Amy. Dan, your last comment is right on target with what I was going to say. I think more competition is what's needed. Twitter has a business problem. They presented themselves as this open source opportunity for people to express their perspectives without any filtering. And the reality is that's not what they're delivering to their customers.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Someone else is going to fill that void, and that's the best way to solve this is more competition.
Thanks for the call, Dennis. Appreciate that. Excellent point. Randy in Elkhorn.
Yeah, if I'm gay and I want to post something on YouTube, or excuse me, if I'm gay and conservative, and I want to post something on YouTube or Twitter, but I'm blocked, can I complain because they're blocking me because I'm gay and that they have to do it?
Yeah, that's
quite
good.
A conundrum.
Thanks, Randy. It's not really because it's not you're not a protected class. It's not a First Amendment abridgment of your First Amendment rights. It's not the same thing, unless you would argue that Twitter or YouTube or Google are public places of accommodation. Then you have a protected class argument to make as a gay person. But I think that's a tough one to make out. But I mean, with trial lawyers and some of these judges, God only knows.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. The federal budget deficit declined in December, and Ford telling some truck drivers to pull their vehicles over immediately and park them. Those stories next. You're paralyzed by the fact you owe the IRS more than $10,000, and like most individuals or businesses, you don't have a clue how to resolve your tax debt. But doing nothing means your problem only worsens. The minute you call Rapid Resolution Tax Group, they'll help determine your best way out of that overwhelming tax load. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. They know exactly how the IRS works, the solutions and loopholes that can work in your favor. Your call is confidential, and it's the first step in getting real answers. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000, whether it's personal, business, or payroll tax issues, or have years of unfiled returns, call Rapid Resolution Tax Group now at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. 800-601-2929. The Treasury Department says the federal deficit last month was just over $23 billion, down from a year ago. But overall forecasts are for the 2018 deficit to rise because of higher spending on defense and infrastructure, as well as the impact of tax cuts on federal revenue. Among the reports due out today, the Consumer Price Index report, as well as an update on retail sales. We'll also have a look at the state of overall business inventories nationwide. Unlike some recalls that suggest visiting a dealer at the owner's convenience, Ford is taking the unusual step of telling owners of some 2006 model year Ranger small pickup trucks to immediately stop driving them. This follows a death in West Virginia where a Takata airbag exploded, killing the driver. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
My blood pressure significantly is so low now compared to what it was. I think I'm doing great with it.
That's one thing I like about Balance of Nature. Y'all listen, you talk and communicate, and not just give us your order. We're done. Bye. You know. It to me it makes more I want to say kind of a family oriented business that, you know, we're out here for you and we're part of your extended family trying to fill you in rather than just take your money.
I feel great. A lot of the aches and pains I have the arthritis in my hand seems to have dissipated most of the time, and I feel wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Restaurants come and go. Very few last. When you find a restaurant that served margaritas, fun, and fantastic food for over 2 decades, you can bet it's great.
That's the one-of-a-kind landmark Cafe Salsa Mexican Grill and Tequila Bar in Countryside. Cafe Salsa offers daily lunch specials, happy hour in the bar, half-price house margaritas on Wednesdays, and on Monday and Tuesday, 2 for $22 dinner specials. Ready to eat? Try Mexican-inspired influences on traditional fare, like Cafe Salsa's margarita salmon, honey chipotle glazed pork chops, and amazing carne asada with mushroom salsa. Plus, fajitas, a fantastic selection of quesadillas, many flavorful steak and chicken dishes, and shrimp tacos, hot off the wood-fired grill. Cafe Salsa's dining room is perfect for birthdays and family get-togethers. Check out their complete menu at cafesalsa.com or call 708-352-5100.
Make your plans for lunch or dinner today at Cafe Salsa, 55th Street and LaGrange Road in Countryside, cafesalsa.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, President Trump responds via Twitter to using a derogatory term to describe Haitians and people from certain African countries. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
3 are killed in a fiery crash on the south side. A pathologist contradicts a ruling that a Chicago police officer committed suicide. 6 Sam's Clubs closing in the Chicago area, and the Blackhawks host the Jets tonight, while the Bulls host the Pistons tomorrow. Cloudy, breezy, much colder today. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
A ship load of controversy. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, over what President Trump reportedly said, railing about immigration at a White House meeting with lawmakers.
The president said, quote, "Why are we having all these people from blank hole countries come here?" The president also asked why we don't take in more people from countries like Norway.
Fox's John Roberts. President Trump just tweeted an apparent denial, writing that was not the language used.
Let's judge the president after what we've done. Let's not judge the president on what he says.
That's Republican Congressman Jim Renacci, who is now running for Senate in Ohio. Democrat after Democrat put out statements of outrage, some calling the president racist. The NAACP calls it a low point for our nation, and there's reaction worldwide. Fox's Simon Owen live in London.
Dave, the government of Botswana just calling these remarks reported reprehensible and racist, saying it summoned the US ambassador to express its displeasure. A spokesperson at the UN's Human Rights Office, Rupert Colville, saying you can't dismiss entire countries and continents with that expletive.
This isn't just a story about vulgar language. It's about opening the door to humanity's worst side.
South Africa's ruling party calling the comments, quote, extremely offensive. Dave?
Simon, President Trump also tweeted DACA has taken a big step backwards. Unimpressed with a bipartisan plan to protect immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally, he wrote his border wall wasn't funded properly and Democrats are not interested in life and safety. They'll dig through more mud in Southern California today looking for dozens of people still unaccounted for after the floods and landslides that killed 17 others.
All of the victims are from Montecito, and they range in age from as young as 3 years to a high of 89 years.
Santa Barbara County Sheriff Bill Brown, hundreds of homes were damaged or destroyed when the water and mud gushed down full of boulders and trees. Fox News, fair and balanced.
23 degrees. Skies are cloudy. Winds west-northwest at 16. That gives us a wind chill of 3 above. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. On AM 560, The Answer. 3 are dead following a fiery crash on Chicago's far south side. Chicago police tell us a sedan was speeding early this morning when it left the roadway and slammed into a light pole in the 3300 block of East 100th Street. The vehicle then flipped and caught fire. 3 died at the scene. A new report from a forensic pathologist hired by the FBI is raising some serious doubts about the death of a Chicago police sergeant that had been ruled as suicide. AM 560's David Stewart has the update.
Sergeant Donald Markham was found dead in his bed in 2015 after a drunken fight with his wife, also a veteran cop. The new investigation of autopsy reports, crime scene photos, and blood spatters concludes that someone else shot Markham, then staged it to look like a suicide. The Cook County Medical Examiner still says it was a suicide, backed by the testimony of the couple's friends, who say they argued frequently and talked about killing themselves. Kim Markham was found last May, drowned in her own bathtub. Her death ruled an accident before the FBI could interview her. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago. 6 Sam's Club locations around the Chicago area. Among the dozens closing around the country, Walmart announcing yesterday it's closing around 60 stores. Stores shutting down include Batavia, Madison, Naperville, Romeoville, Streamwood, and Wheeling. Schools closed this morning for the LaGrange Park campus of Nazareth Academy. Gas leak Thursday is to blame for shutting down the campus. Gas line service to the campus was hit by a worker not working for Nicor, but then Nicor was called in to fix the leak. No injuries reported, and it's a nice 4-day weekend as the school, like many, are closed Monday for the MLK holiday. Chicago sports, Fighting Illini still winless in the Big Ten, falling to Iowa in overtime, 104-97. Also in college hoops, Chicago State lost to Seattle. Tennessee State topped Eastern. Tonight, DePaul hosts Providence, while UIC will tangle with Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Professionally, the Blackhawks welcome the Jets to the UC tonight. The news service of the Advocare 180 system. Ready to start the new year with a new lifestyle, ready to get healthy, ready to transform your life? Start now with the Advocare 180 system and compete in the transformation competition to win $25,000. See advocare.com/2018 for rules and details. Start now. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Attention, the soda tax is dead. Hello, this is Cook County Commissioner Sean M. Morrison. Congratulations. Effective December 1st of 2017, the Cook County sweetened beverage tax is dead. Your stand against this bad tax won the day. I fought hard against President Preckwinkle's soda pop tax from the beginning, but sadly it passed. But I refuse to give in to the constant taxing from our working families' pockets only to feed big government. So I led the Can the Tax campaign, and I sponsored the repeal ordinance to vote out the soda tax. Desperate, President Preckwinkle brought in New York billionaire Michael Bloomberg, and he spent $13 million in vain trying to keep her pop tax alive. But Cook County residents said enough and demanded their commissioners support my soda tax repeal. As for me, well, both Michael Bloomberg and President Preckwinkle have vowed to knock me out of office. But that decision will be up to you and not them. Again, this is Sean M. Morrison, your Cook County Commissioner. Thank you for your support. And don't forget, ding dong, the tax is dead.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
.707 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In South Holland, 159th remains closed between Woodlawn and the Bishop Ford Freeway after a crash involving a vehicle and a snowplow. The ramp from eastbound 159th to the outbound Ford Freeway is closed, so is the exit from the outbound Ford to westbound 159th. Northwest Indiana lake effect snow is a major issue in Porter and LaPorte counties. There are delays on 94 and the Indiana Toll Road, and there are major delays on the westbound South Shoreline. There's a problem with a crossing gate in overhead wires. Edens is 20 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 20 as well. Kennedy, 32 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 24. The Eisenhower, 51 minutes, 390 to the Circle. 38 from Manheim, outbound 33 to 390. Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Bryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 30. Rollover dump truck, 91st. Plus two right lanes blocked. Bishop Ford, 45 minutes, 80-94 to merge. Illinois tollways are much lighter than normal. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Breezy today with wind gusts of 30 to 35 miles per hour. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies throughout the day and night. A snow shower during the day with a high 25, then a brisk and cold night low 8. Wind chill values as low as 0 to 10 below. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently, we have 22 at O'Hare. Next news at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And I'll tell you what, I'll take Christians from Central America or Africa over godless Norwegians every day of the week.
Are you calling us socialists?
312-642-5600, Turkey.Pro answer line, 64636DA. Turnkey.pro text line. Who agrees with me? I'll take Christians from Central America and Africa over godless Scandinavians any day of the week.
Here's the thing. The Norwegians and the Swedes aren't really clamoring to get into this country. They like the life that they have there.
It says a Swede in this country.
I mean, they have
chain migrated.
They have socialized medicine. They like that. They enjoy the fact that a hamburger is $30, a beer is $18, and a gallon of milk was $12. Because I was there over the summer and I could not believe the prices. But 35% of everything sold goes to their health care plan. So I have a friend that lives in Bergen, Norway. She just had back surgery. Everything was paid for. She had her own suite. She got to take 5 weeks off of work, plus her already given 5 weeks that she normally gets. And that's the way of their life. They live in a very clean, organized society, and they want to live there and stay there.
Thank you for that public service announcement on Norway. I appreciate that. It was excellent. So this, of course, reflects on President Trump's comment, alleged and not denied, that he, in negotiations over the DACA border security deal, suggested that why should we have to take people from S-hole countries like Haiti and El Salvador and Africa, and in Africa, as compared to those from Norway, for example. A rather coarse way, I think, of trying to get to the point about merit-based migration rather than diversity lottery visas or chain migration.
And being silent, is that being complicit? I mean, that's what Jan Schakowsky said in a tweet, that Republican lawmakers should stand up to President Trump. One has, Mia Love, a congresswoman from Utah, first Haitian-American congressperson in history. Her parents are refugees. This morning, she's demanding that President Trump apologize for what he said about Haiti. 312-642-5600 is our Turnkey Pro answer line.
And it's important to note, Mia Love, Republican, conservative.
Yeah.
Now, there are a lot of people suggesting that on the merits, Trump is right. These are countries that are in a terrible state, third world countries. You were in Haiti. You saw it firsthand.
Yeah, I went from Norway to Haiti within 2 weeks. It's not a pretty place. It is a tough place to live.
Right.
There is garbage everywhere. There is still rubble on the streets from an earthquake that happened 10 years ago.
There's also this story from NPR, from last summer. Haiti's Bayako.
Excuse you?
Hauling away human excrement by hand. They call it night soil, largely removed by hand by workers who toil at night under the cover of darkness. One of the largest cities in the world without a central sewage system is Port-au-Prince, the capital.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the more than 3 million residents use outhouses and rely on workers with some of the worst jobs in the world, hauling away human excrement by hand, one bucket at a time. These men are called Bayako, and they work in the dark by candlelight. A NPR reporter spent a night with a group of them as they performed their tasks.
But we're all God's children, and to say
I
that
agree.
is so, it's vile, it is crude, it's just so New Yorkish. You know, such a businessman from New York. It's like, oh, why do we allow these blank hole countries, people from their countries in here? And he should keep in mind that most of the hired help in Palm Beach, Florida, Mar-a-Lago, and the Breakers, Haitians are all the maids.
And why did they choose to come here rather than stay in Port-au-Prince or in other parts of Haiti?
You have clean drinking water. I mean, you can. It's rough. The average age. I mean, people die young in Haiti because there is no clean drinking water They can't just go to a park and drink water out of a fountain.
So, is it the case that the president is racist? Is it the case that the president is coarse and talks like loud at the end of the bar, carrying on while watching the news or something?
Can I play for you what Tucker Carlson said last night?
Sure.
Today, as you doubtless heard during immigration talks, President Trump said something that almost every single person in America actually agrees with. An awful lot of immigrants come to this country from other places that aren't very nice. Those places are dangerous, they're dirty, they're corrupt, and they're poor. And that's the main reason those immigrants are trying to come here, and you would too if you live there.
And I agree with that statement, but as president, You can't say that. You can think that in your mind. You don't say it out loud. He has no
Well,
filter.
he could say what Tucker Carlson said,
Right, but he chose not to.
where he chose to use the shorthand version of what Tucker Carlson
Yeah,
said,
I mean, come
or
on. This is why Republicans look racist because of comments like that.
well, no, there is reaction, including from the evangelical community,
really?
which supported Trump at an 80% clip against
And
Hillary Clinton.
evangelicals are huge in Haiti and rebuilding Haiti and building water wells.
Russell Moore tweeting that the Church of Jesus Christ is led by, among others, our brothers and sisters from Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean. They are us. I agree with that statement. And yeah, that's probably a better place from which Trump could come on the topic.
But he
It's
has
to distinguish the people from the ravages they have suffered at the hands of their government and to some extent our government. By the way, if you've not seen this documentary that was done by the Acton Institute called Poverty, Inc., about how America and the West, including all the celebrities, Bono and Angelina Jolie, the UN, the world government institutions, have created an industry around aid to the detriment of the people in the countries that are receiving that aid, in terms of stunting entrepreneurship, inhibiting self-sufficiency, essentially scaling the welfare states of the West internationally. Poverty, Inc. You should check it out, because we bear some responsibility as well for what's happened in the third world. And George Ayete, who's the great Ghanaian economist, has been writing about this. I mean, he wrote a book 25 years ago, Africa Betrayed, which I would also highly recommend, talking about not only the corruption that foreign aid induces, but also, and that's attendant to it, but also how much it harms the intended beneficiaries. Your good intentions don't absolve you from bad consequences. How many times do we have to talk about that? Well, with respect to the developing world, it's a similar conversation. Verlin on the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
You guys have been great this week with the hot topics, the social issues, and the economic issues nationally. So, good job, man. But listen, this is what I want to say. I don't want the Swedes. I don't want the people from the crap hole country. Look, this country has become too PC. My president is just too tough talking for America. And to your point, Amy, the poor immigrants, I call them illegal foreigners, that's going to take those low-wage jobs. Let me give you an alternative idea. Cut this Section 8. Cut the welfare. Cut it down to minimum and watch how many poor Americans take those jobs. You keep on giving people a free ride, yeah, they'll never take those jobs. Cut the welfare. Is that a radical idea? I think not.
Thanks for the call, Verlin.
President Trump did tweet. He said, the language used by me at the DACA meeting was tough, but this was not the language used. What was really tough was the outlandish proposal made a big setback for DACA.
What was not the language used?
That's probably saying
he didn't say
asshole.
that.
Well, that's what's so weird. He just tweeted this out.
But
no one from the Trump administration denied it.
No, they didn't. I guess we'll have to stay tuned for more tweets on the topic. But to Verlin's point about welfare, this story out yesterday, too. The Trump administration encouraging states to require able-bodied Medicaid recipients to work in exchange for health insurance. Sent a letter to Medicaid state directors saying that adults who are elderly or disabled or pregnant will be exempted from having to work, volunteer, or participate in job training. But there are a lot of different ideas, a lot of different ways to go about this. We want to give states as much flexibility as possible because that's where we'll be able to evaluate what actually works best. Able-bodied people should have to work in order to get welfare state benefits like government-financed health care services. Is that radical? Is that fair? I mean, wasn't that the whole impetus of bipartisan welfare reform that was signed by President Clinton into law after it incubated up from states like Tommy Thompson's Wisconsin and John Engler's Michigan and Jim Edgar's Illinois back in the early to mid-'90s? What's wrong with that? Now, by contrast, Governor Bruce Rauner extended a welfare waiver covering able-bodied adults without dependents when other states are reverting to the cost savings reform enacted in 1996 by then President Bill Clinton, as I just mentioned. This past October, the Department of Agriculture granted a request from Illinois' Department of Human Services to extend the waiver that allows people to enroll in SNAP, the food support program, food stamps, without the minimum work requirement established in the 1996 federal law. The waiver holds statewide except for DuPage County throughout 2018. So do we want able-bodied people to work, or do we want them to be state dependent? Do you think you're doing something from somebody? There is nothing more destructive you can do to another human being than make them dependent on you. It's a disgusting thing to do, and we celebrate it. And we think that's compassion. It's predatory. It's mean-spirited. It's hateful. And it's hateful if we do it to people in this country, and it's hateful when we do it through foreign aid to people in other countries. Our Christian brothers and sisters, and our brothers and sisters, generally speaking, that Russell Moore was speaking about in his tweet in response to what Trump said. Lee and Berwyn, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, how you guys doing? I just wanted to make a comment about the outrage from the leaders of the third world countries about Mr. Trump's comments. I think we're going to wait and see how many of them are so outraged that they say, effective immediately, we refuse U.S. aid until the president apologizes to us.
Yeah, right.
That's all I wanted to say.
Thanks for the call, Lee. I mean, and again, it's very much like is the case here. So many of those leaders, elected officials, is generous in a lot of these countries. Dictators. I mean, of course, if you think about Haiti and Papa Doc and Baby Doc Duvalier and Aristide, these people were they prey on their citizens. I mean, yes, the government here is predatory, but you're talking about something qualitatively different in these dictatorships in some of these third world countries, and when it's one of the reasons they are third world countries, they enrich themselves at everybody else's expense. Jimmy on the north side.
Hey, boom, the guy 2 calls before hit it on the head. If you require people to show up and say between 11 and 1 every day, just go to a library and read a book. They won't do it if they're getting entitlements. They won't do it because more than half of the people are on unemployment benefits. They're collecting that plus money under the table. And miraculously, if you look at the statistics, once their unemployment benefits run out, they're gainfully employed. So they're double dipping. If you take just 10% of the double dippers and the people that don't want to show up for an hour at the library in the middle of the day and take that off the books, what is the savings? And that's money you're not spending. It's money you're saving. Plus, even on unemployment, you should be required to show up and do something, and they won't do it. They won't take those benefits because they're double dipping on a cash job on the side. And like that guy said, it will open up money for the lower people that want to work. So you got to think like that. It's not racist. It's not being mean. It's being realistic.
And it's also, thanks for the call, Jimmy. It's right. It's understanding human nature and that people respond to incentives, and it has nothing to do with their race or gender or religion or anything else. It's the human condition to respond to incentives. John in Waukegan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning. Trump speaks for me when he describes these countries. Me and probably a lot of other people, too. And a lot of these people, when they get here, they never totally get off welfare for the rest of their days.
Do we have
Thanks for the
concrete
call,
proof
John.
of how many people are here that are in protected status from El Salvador or Haiti that are, on welfare? Because the ones that I see, they're working low-level, low-wage jobs, doing jobs that Americans don't want to do.
Yeah. There's a lot of anecdotal stories to share, and as I want to say, the plural of anecdote is not data. But we know that people respond to incentives. So the question is, what are the incentives we're providing for people, whether they're coming to this country or they're American citizens? Good incentives, bad incentives. Address the incentives.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
Ever had an obstructed view at a show or an event?
This is so amazing.
What's so amazing? I can't see around this concrete column. That's what it's like relying on checking your credit to protect you from identity theft. You get a limited view.
She looks beautiful.
Who looks beautiful? You might detect credit changes, but you can miss threats, like someone getting an online payday loan in your name or selling your personal information on the dark web.
Did you see that?
See what? The concrete? With LifeLock, you can see more. We use proprietary technology to detect a range of identity threats, and if you have a problem, a U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can alert you to threats you could miss.
Told you this was worth seeing.
You are killing me. Memberships start at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Now get 10% off. Go to LifeLock.com and enter promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS. LifeLock. More detection, more protection.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, have a great idea for the new year. Have a new you and treat yourself to some solid sleep. I mean, it's the best gift that you can give to yourself is 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And the way to do that is to get a MyPillow. Stop wasting your time with those feather pillow, those down pillows, those the foam pillows. You need a MyPillow because it conforms to your neck and back, and it gives you the best sleep ever. I cannot live without mine. I cannot sleep without mine. And I love it because when it gets dirty, I can just throw it in the washer and dryer. No need to take it to the dry cleaners. And there's a 10-year warranty. I'm sorry, a 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. And right now we still have the buy one, get one free offer. So go to MyPillow.com, type Amy in the promo code to get 2 MyPillows for the price of one. Or you can call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. And I love the fact that I'm sleeping on something that's made in America.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We are so thrilled with this product. He was literally getting up, laying on the couch, and falling asleep. He's so alert. It's amazing, totally amazing. This is a great product. His sodium levels have been low for, I would say, maybe close to 20 years. He's normal now, and this is the first time, and I can't even thank you enough.
The last thing I want to do is stop taking this. I definitely have lots more energy.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
All right, I have to admit it was an eyesore. The chipping and paint peeling on our front and back porch, it looked awful. But thanks to CertaPro painters, the porch looks brand new. The painters who showed up were professional, respectful. They were done in just a few hours. And when they left, the house looked brand new. They really are the best in the business. And it's not too late to book your painting project. There are several spots open on CertaPro's schedule. Here's an idea. Let CertaPro painters transform your home while you're on vacation and return to a freshly painted house. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, and so we invite you to experience the CertaPro difference. For a free estimate, call 1-800-GO-CERTA, C-E-R-T-A, or visit CertaPro.com, that's Certa with the C. Get that painting project off your to-do list. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Call 1-800-GO-CERTA, C-E-R-T-A. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll pick up our conversation about the president's remarks and the underlying immigration policies being debated with our friend David French from National Review at 7:37.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, 23, a wind chill of 5 above this morning. President Trump denying he used crude profanities and referring to a number of countries during a White House discussion on immigration with lawmakers. White House statement issued following the afternoon meeting did not deny that Trump used that term about immigrants from Haiti, El Salvador, and other African nations. Meantime, Congresswoman Mia Love says she plans to rise above those comments. Arriving in Salt Lake City last night, Love says she will speak out about the president's hurtful comments, but does not plan to respond in kind.
It's obviously disheartening, but I just want to say at this point, there's an opportunity when something is incredibly hurtful or a comment is made to rise above it.
Meantime, they're playing deal or no deal in the nation's capital. A bipartisan group of senators says a tentative deal has been struck on boosting border security and protecting young immigrants. Short time before the deal was announced, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said there was no deal. Nearly 4 dozen remain missing after deadly mudslides swept through a Southern California community this week. Santa Barbara County Sheriff Bill Brown says they are still conducting search and rescue missions.
This remains a very active search and rescue mission, as you heard. We have law, fire, and search and rescue crews from across 4 counties who are continuing to search for survivors and to evacuate people from this area. 17,
ranging in age from 3 to 89, are confirmed dead. Here in Chicago, 3 are dead following a fiery crash on Chicago's far south side. An investigation is underway following the death of a 1-year-old girl this week on Chicago's west side. Malaysia Williams was found unresponsive Tuesday night in an apartment located in the 1300 block of North Laurel Avenue. Chicago police officers could one day be equipped with technology designed to crack down on crashes that may be caused by texting and driving. City Council's Public Safety Committee discussed the idea yesterday of arming officers with so-called textilizers, but no vote was taken. Chicago sports, Fighting Illini still winless in the Big Ten. They lost to Iowa in overtime, 104-97. The Blackhawks welcome the Jets tonight to the United Center, while the Bulls welcome the Pistons tomorrow. The news is service of Accountemps. Payroll, bookkeeping, month end. Are you feeling short-staffed? Accountemps can provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis when you need them to help with increased workloads. Call them today or visit Accountemps.com. Accountemps is a Robert Half company. 7:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Still taking your child's temperature the way it was done decades ago? Upgrade to the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. The Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, available at fine retailers everywhere.
Health Quest Radio with your host, Dr. David Kolbaba, is the longest-running health and science show in Chicago. And there's a good reason for this. It is Dr. Kolbaba's driving passion and concern for people just like you. Dr. Kolbaba believes that it's choice, not chance, that can get you back to higher health and longevity. By the way, when was the last time you really felt healthy? Question: if you were given one last chance to achieve the highest level of health possible, regardless of your past, would you take it? Here at HealthQuest, we're all about second chances. So, if you've been victimized by the choices you've made in the past, make a new choice, a better choice today. Call our HealthQuest radio hotline to reserve your new patient strategy session with Dr. Kobaba. Imagine what it would be like to feel more vital, healthy, and strong. One last chance to set a new strategy in motion in your new patient strategy session. Call our HealthQuest radio hotline at 1-800-794-1855. That's 800-794-1855.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Wouldn't it be great to have all the energy you want all day long? Unfortunately, fatigue often gets in the way even for everyday activities, and it seems to get worse every year, right? Here's why. When you're 20, your body has a natural ability to maintain healthy circulation. But by age 40, that ability decreases by half, and that leaves you feeling really tired. So, what can you do to increase that youthful natural circulation and fight fatigue? Drink Super Beets. Super Beets promotes the body's own natural ability to produce healthier circulation for increased energy and stamina all day long. Only Super Beets is made from beets grown to exacting standards, then concentrated into superfood crystals. Right now, call 800-516-0243 or go to walshbeets.com. With your first order, get another 30-day supply of Super Beets free. Call 800-516-0243 or go to walshbeets.com today.
7:36. Now we know that our friends at Nazareth Academy had the day off because of that gas leak from yesterday. They get the long weekend. But we've just noted at the Emergency Closing Center that a whole ton of Northwest Indiana schools are now delayed by 2 hours or more. Chesterton, Maryville, Crown Point, Hebron, Michigan City, Portage, Hobart, all delaying for 2 hours. Both middle, high school, and elementary schools in those areas are delaying the start for at least 2 hours. That means there must be road problems in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Yes, Mike, eastbound 94, it's slow going, really all the way from the eastern edge of Porter County into LaPorte County to the Michigan City area on eastbound 94. Speeds are reduced on the toll road as well. I-65 looks okay in the Maryville area. We have some delays on the South Shoreline westbound. There were some high winds affecting crossing gates, so trains on the South Shoreline are running 40 to 60 minutes late. And then we have problems on the CTA. Red and Purple Line service is suspended right now from Howard to Belmont. There's a medical emergency on the tracks near Bryn Mawr. Shuttle buses are running instead. The Edens Expressway, it's just 20 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose. The Kennedy, 44 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 28. The Eisenhower, 48 minutes, 390 to the Circle. Outbound 33. Stevenson, 54 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 25. Reagan Tollway jammed. Yola to Washington with a crash. Traffic service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. You can post a job in minutes and manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. That's traffic on AM 560.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, breezy, colder. Snow showers crossing the area as well. High 25. Currently 23. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, what a week. What a week it's been as we all play armchair psychologist.
It's exhausting.
Or respond, as we do, to armchair psychologist. Bandy Lee, the now celebrated Yale University psychology professor, Campus Reform did some digging. Turns out that she's not licensed in her home state of Connecticut.
Oh, really?
So even if she wanted to have President Trump declared, commandeer him, take possession of him for a psychiatric evaluation. She couldn't do it, it appears. She's also taken down her Twitter account amid the criticism she's received from violating the Goldwater rule and expressing opinions from afar, like we need to keep effectively saying President Trump needs to be kept away from sharp objects and weapons. Remarkable. Also, Jay Berman, who is one of the authors of the 25th Amendment that the country has become more familiarized with over the last the last year, suggests that the 25th Amendment is not appropriate in terms of invoking it with respect to Trump. At this moment, I don't think he meets the test of a president who is incapable of fulfilling his responsibility. And it's not to mean he's a Trump fan either. I think he was elected to do these dumb things. He hasn't become dumber or meaner since he was elected. This is who he's always been. This is who he was when he ran, and may well have been the reason people elected him. So Berman talking about the intent of the 25th Amendment was for a president who is physically incapacitated, obviously, and this was ratified in the mid-'60s. So we're talking about after the JFK assassination. You're talking about, a situation where a president has a stroke and cannot physically do the job. It's not because you disagree with his characterization of Central American countries. For more on these and so many other topics, we got FISA, we got the dossier.
We've got his relationship with Kim Jong-un.
We got a Missouri governor in hot water. We got so much.
Slappy, huh?
Allegedly. David French, who is a writer, of course, National Review, must-read, constitutional lawyer, best-selling author, and also a veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom. David, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So here's what Jerry Falwell Jr. tweeted 2 days ago. Now, this is before the S-hole comment. Complaining about the temperament of Trump or saying his behavior is not presidential is no longer relevant. Trump has single-handedly changed the definition of what behavior is, quote-unquote, presidential from phony, failed, and rehearsed to authentic, successful, and down-to-earth. You agree with that?
No. I mean, that's just silly. For one thing, I've got this pet peeve that the word authentic is somehow, that's a compliment, that that's a virtue. It's a character that what it is a characteristic. It's not necessarily a virtue. Somebody could be authentically bad, or authentically good, and authentically a liar. I mean, so I'm not. What he's doing is he's parroting back the popular view that an awful lot of people say if they say about Trump. Well, he's real. He keeps it real. Well, he has a mannerism that's very blunt. That's not the same thing as being real. He does have truth problems. He's got truth problems an awful lot. I don't necessarily call that authentic.
Well, do you think what he said about, people from Haitians and from certain African countries, do you think that was racist?
Well, so here's the problem with that. Look, everybody knows some countries are better than others. I mean, that's obvious. But he was talking about that not in the context of where he would want to go vacation, as far as where he would want to live or where he'd want to raise a family. He was talking about it in the context of who he'd want to come here. So he's talking about people. Now, do I think that I don't think that Trump says to himself, well, I'd rather have, people of one skin color versus another. But I do think one of the problems is when you take in context what he said versus a whole lot of other things that he said. And then when you throw in this really unfortunate juxtaposition where he said, these countries are terrible and what we need is more people from Norway. The problem is you have to be giving him an awful lot of benefit of the doubt at that point. And maybe he deserves it, maybe he doesn't. But that juxtaposition is really unfortunate. Now, it's likely that he juxtaposed Norway simply because he just been, he just had a representative from Norway.
Yeah, right.
And so Norway was on his mind. But, that's the problem is, so number one, everyone who says, well, I'm going to defend the president because obviously some countries are better than others, can't forget the context. He wasn't talking about where to go to live. He was talking about who we want to live here. He was talking about the people of those places coming here. And so, I can't look into the man's heart, but it doesn't look good.
But then now all of this furor and that will continue into the weekend, the Sunday talk shows for certain, and then let's say next week they get a deal done on DACA for border security, and the thing that President Obama did that was illegal, President Trump codifies, makes legal these 800,000 individuals that are DACA recipients, and who largely from Central American countries, third world countries. So then he's provided a path for these individuals, and he's gotten border security, and he's kind of center cut in terms of where the center right is on this issue. So you've got some of these, I would agree with you, kind of intemperate, unfortunate, unnecessary remarks, but then you could have another arguable policy achievement.
Well, you just summed up the Trump presidency.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, that's one of the problems. One thing does not negate the other thing. So, that's one of the issues. So you'll have people who say, well, what Trump does doesn't matter because what he does is been really good. And then you'll have people who say, well, what he does doesn't really matter because what he says is really bad. And those of them matter. One of the problems. So, for example, if somebody says, and he does get a DACA deal done, and if the deal is widely popular with the American people, and benefits a whole lot of people from third world, originally from third world countries, obviously, then that should be something that should be considered as part of his legacy. But the problem I have is when people then say, well, that's all you look at. When that's not been the standard we've applied to other presidents or candidates or anyone else. And so, for example, an awful lot of Americans were really justifiably upset when Barack Obama talked about, the people who cling to their guns and religion. And because what that did is essentially said, well, as someone, I believe he was running at that time, what I do is I set myself apart from other Americans, and I'm talking about other Americans as if they're lesser. In the same way with, Hillary's deplorable comment, that Trump supporters are deplorable, something that a comment she came to regret, because what it essentially did is that these people were lesser, are apart from me, they're my enemy, or there's something about them that I didn't like. And there's an awful lot of Americans who look at comments like Trump's through that same prism. And so, there were Democrats who would say, no, all Obama was doing was he might have used an unfortunate word, but he's just describing, how people hold on to those parts of their culture that are important to them. Or they're saying, well, Hillary used an unfortunate word to describe all Trump supporters. But yeah, certainly a few are bad people. And other Americans are like, no, this is disclosing something in their heart.
Yeah.
And conservatives have to realize that that's how billions of people hear what Trump is saying. And he's responsible for his words. And he's got to do better. He just has to do better.
Now, President Trump gave an interview to the Washington Post talking about his good relationship, quote unquote, with Kim Jong-un. Do you think there's a backdoor channel of communications going on between these two?
One, who the heck knows? I mean, we don't really know. But I'll say this: we can't tell from that interview. One of the things that you learn when you read these Trump interviews, I don't know if you guys saw the transcript of the Wall Street Journal interview that he gave recently.
Yeah.
Is a lot of it is just a wall of words, and you don't really know what's true in there and what's not true in there, or what's deeper in there and what's not deeper in there. We just really don't have any way of knowing what he meant by that comment.
One other speaking of the Wall Street Journal interview, one of the other comments that he made that is not getting as much play because of the comment about the Central American and African countries is suggesting that that FBI agent Strzok, who along with his paramour were hatching plans to derail the Trump presidency somehow, some way, he accused Strzok of treason. What about that? The President of the United States accusing an FBI agent, maybe with some merit, I think with some merit, of a treasonous act.
Well, treason would have to involve joining with the enemy of the state. So I don't think Trump actually knows legally what treason is. And so when I hear that, I think, this guy doesn't know what treason is. He's thinking treason maybe as disloyalty to him,
right,
as opposed to joining with enemies of the United States. So, when I hear that, it just is another reminder to me that this is a guy. I don't think he knows the first thing about the law. I don't think he knows the first thing about the Constitution. But he's mad. But he chose a word and he used it, and he chose the word to convey the gravity of his anger. But at the same time, he has no power. He has power, but it as a practical matter, because of Sessions' recusal and many other things, he doesn't really have the power to charge them with treason. So this is sort of the equivalent of a venting tweet. If he tried to follow through to get a charge of treason against them, then you would start to raise all kinds of alarms about the rule of law. But as it is, this is the President of the United States just venting.
Yes, troubling, not treasonous. Yes. David French, writer at National Review, constitutional lawyer, best-selling author, veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom. David, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
And we have a little bit of breaking news. President Trump just tweeted, "I never said anything derogatory about Haitians, other than Haiti is obviously a very poor and troubled country. Never said, quote unquote, take them out. That was made up by Dems. I have a wonderful relationship with Haitians. Probably should record future meetings. Unfortunately, no trust."
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Yeah.
Let's
process that for a little bit.
Haiti is a poor and troubled country. That doesn't sound like how Trump talks.
No, it doesn't, does it? Forecast for today, cloudy, breezy, a lot colder than yesterday. We have a balmy 22 degrees right now, going up to a high of 25. Tonight, a low of 8. And your weekend looks like this. Very cold Saturday. Clouds in the morning, some sun by the afternoon, a high of 18. And on Sunday, we'll have some sun and clouds, a high of 22 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Amy and Dan, we have troubled traffic on the north side of Chicago. Red and Purple Line trains are not running right now between Howard and Belmont due to a medical emergency on the tracks near Bryn Mawr. Some shuttle buses are running. You can also use buses. South Shoreline trains have delays up to an hour after earlier issues with winds affecting crossing gates. The NSF trains have delays up to 20 minutes after switch problems. The Edens is light, 19 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 20. Kennedy, 46 minutes, O'Hare to downtown outbound 28. The Ike is 54 minutes, 390 to the Circle, outbound 36. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 30 after a dump truck crash near 91st. Closures, South Holland, 159th between Woodlawn and the Bishop Ford after a major wreck. Eastbound Reagan tollways jammed, Farnsworth to Washington with a crash on the right side. And lake effect snow is causing slow traffic on 94 and the Indiana Toll Road in Porter and LaPorte counties. I'm Jim Talamonte on the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you have a new or existing business, understanding building and zoning codes, obtaining permits, licenses, and inspections can be a time-consuming nightmare. Well, I got a guy. I should say a fine company. Premier Consulting Group and my friend Bill Gritsonis is the company to call. From city and suburban retail business to residential and high-rise building permits, PCG holds your hand from the beginning to the very end. Bill and his veteran team have decades of experience and a commitment to meeting client needs. Your business will benefit from expedited permits and the peace of mind knowing that your business is in complete compliance. So I highly suggest you call my guy, Bill Gritsonis, and his team at Premier Consulting Group before your next project. Call Bill Gritsonis at 312-263-4599 or visit PCGconsultinginc.com. That number, 312-263-4599 or online at PCGconsultinginc.com. Call Bill Gritsonis at 312-263-4599 or visit PCGconsultinginc.com.
Our freedom and security are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military and first responders. The Gary Sinise Foundation provides many outreach programs supporting these brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. In 2018, the GOP's continued standing as the majority party will turn on the participation of culturally anxious voters, the people who appreciate the distinctions between liberty and libertinism, the people who understand the implications of erasing the lines between decency and indecency, the people who are respectful of the time, money, and lives of others, the people who recognize identity politics for the cultural poison that it is, the people who still talk of men and women without the cisgender modifier, the people whose lives are defined by the love of family and friends, not the popularity of a hashtag campaign. The people who will listen to rather than shout down an opposing viewpoint. The people who see things for what they are rather than redefine them through a distorted political lens. The people who believe in being their brother's keeper but don't believe they should be forced to be a sugar daddy. It won't be a single issue. It's not going to be a question of one accomplishment or one failure. It'll turn on whether or not Republicans let cultural Marxists run roughshod over people in their offices, their churches, and their kids' schools. The GOP's majority status will turn on its ability to serve as political Xanax to the culturally anxious.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds, and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400, and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jerry Kerrigan, one of the owners of F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing Company, a third-generation family-run business. Our trusted longtime accountant referred us to Signature Bank, and we've never been happier. On one of our first meetings, Signature Bank CEO Mick O'Rourke said, "You worry about running the business, and we'll take care of everything else." Since that initial meeting, Signature Bank has lived up to every promise they've made. The decision-making is local, the staff is consistent, and the service is outstanding. F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing understands the value of long-term customer relationships, and we plan to be a customer of Signature Bank for a long time to come.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Some Democrats are calling President Trump a racist. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Others say he's unfit, unknowledgeable, and just demeaned and insulted immigrants who should be welcomed. This after he reportedly taught lawmakers in a White House meeting, why should we allow more people from Haiti and S-hole countries in Africa? But the president appears to deny saying that. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave, President Trump tweeted, quote, "The language used by me at the DACA meeting was tough, but this was not the language used." The president rejected an immigration proposal from the so-called Gang of Six. The group of lawmakers presented its plan to him yesterday, which he now calls outlandish. The president tweeted that the wall was not properly funded and chain migration and diversity lottery programs were made worse. Moments ago, he tweeted that he never said anything derogatory about Haitians other than Haiti is a very poor and troubled country. Dave.
Rachel, the president also tweeted he's canceled a trip to London where he faced mass protests next month. But the reason he cited, the Obama administration sold perhaps the best located and finest embassy in London for peanuts. The new one, in an off location, cost $1.2 billion. Bad deal. Wanted me to cut ribbon? No. An ambush in the parking lot of police headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina.
We have an officer down. Officer down.
That's from Broadcastify.
Shot fired.
That officer who was shot has injuries described as non-life-threatening. Cops fired back and killed the gunman who they had been searching for as suspect in a murder earlier yesterday. Dozens of people still unaccounted for in muddy Montecito, California.
We still are in rescue mode. We are conducting primary and secondary searches and victim removal.
CAL FIRE Operations Manager Jeff O's, the flash flooding and landslides killed 17 others. The youngest was 3 years old, the oldest victim 89. A cybersecurity firm says the same Russians who hacked the Democratic Party interfering with the 2016 campaign are gathering more emails plotting espionage targeting the U.S. Senate. Fox News, fair and balanced.
23 degrees. Winds out of the northwest at 16 give us a wind chill of 5 above at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. A mix of freezing rain and snow moving across Indiana, slowing traffic, prompting dozens of districts to cancel classes. Many more delayed 2 hours. National Weather Service issuing a winter storm warning for the state from southern Indiana, where they're picking up 5 to 7 inches of snow and ice, all the way to northwest Indiana, where slick roads and lower snow amounts are expected. 3 are dead following a fiery crash on Chicago's far south side. Police say a 2016 Chevy sedan was speeding when it smashed into a light pole. 3 in the car died at the scene. A Naperville man accused of stabbing his mother to death this week in DuPage County. Kevin James ordered held on $3 million bail while appearing in court yesterday on those murder charges. Chicago police are investigating after a candidate running for Illinois Attorney General was robbed at gunpoint on the northwest side. Authorities say the robbery happened yesterday while Aaron Goldstein and several members of his campaign team were taking promotional photos near Wilson and Albany Avenues. Is a free speech zone actually a limit on free speech? That is the question at the heart of a new lawsuit filed this week against Joliet Junior College. Yvette Salazar's lawyers are suing because the school would not allow her to distribute anti-capitalist flyers on campus last month. Chicago sports, Fighting Illini still winless in the Big Ten after falling to Iowa in overtime, 104-97. Blackhawks welcome the Jets to the UC tonight. The news, a service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, J.P. Morgan Chase had a huge expense in the recent quarter, making changes related to the new tax law. The expense cost the company $2.4 billion. Some banks are still writing off losses from the financial crisis. Otherwise, J.P. Morgan Chase's earnings were stronger than expected. Banks are expected to see benefits from the new law in the future. PNC Financial's fourth quarter earnings doubled compared with a year ago. It was helped by the new tax bill. On the same day, Walmart announced increasing its minimum wage to $11 an hour and bonuses to longtime employees. It revealed plans to close close 63 Sam's Club stores and eliminate 10,000 jobs. Walmart says some of the Sam's Clubs will be repurposed to handle online orders. The Dow up 205 yesterday to a record. NASDAQ up 58, S&P up 19, also records. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder has seen a great first year from the Trump administration.
For all the BMWing about how Donald Trump hasn't fulfilled in this position, that position, all of these positions that supposedly have been left unfilled throughout government.
You're telling me every single bureaucrat is necessary?
And we're seeing this all throughout government, as President Trump believes that we've got way too many federal workers doing way too many things that shouldn't be done by government in the first place.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
In 1517, Martin Luther kicked off the Protestant Reformation. Now, 500 years later, an author of Jewish descent, Dr. Daniel Lang, boldly attempts to sit in the seat of past reformers. A new book entitled Reviving the Reformation, a Jewish believer peers backward to move biblical truth forward, uncovers the biblical first-century messianic faith lost to the modern world. This investigation travels backward to recover the beliefs and practices of the very first Jewish believers in Jerusalem. Though written from a conservative point of view, this book does not often follow the traditional Christian or Jewish party lines. Reviving the Reformation explores questions and offers some powerful answers that some dare not even ask. With biblical faith fading fast in Western culture, now is the time to restore the truth by reviving the Reformation. For information about this important new book, Reviving the Reformation, go to revivingthereformation.com. That's revivingthereformation.com. Use promo code RADIO for a deep discount.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
It is 8:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Like CTA Red and Purple Line service is suspended between Howard and Belmont after a fatal incident involving a person on the tracks near Bryn Mawr. Buses are running instead. South Shoreline delays range from 30 to 60 minutes due to high wind issues. Eden's looking good right now. Kennedy inbound delays start at Keeler, 46 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 36 from Montrose, 30 in the Express. Outbound 28 to the airport. The Eisenhower. Inbound delays start at First Avenue, 43 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 36. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 30 for a crash at 91st. South Howland, 159th remains closed. The Bishopport to Woodlawn after an early morning wreck. Eastbound Reagan Tollway bottled up Farnsworth to Washington after a crash. The other tollways are lighter than usual. See delays in Porter and LaPorte counties due to lake effect snow. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. We get the update with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today mostly cloudy and breezy with a snow shower, high 25. Mostly cloudy, brisk, and colder tonight with a low 8. Frigid tomorrow, cloudy in the morning, then clouds and sun for the afternoon. High tomorrow, 18. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently in Chicago, 23 and cloudy skies. Next news coming up at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show. Tune in on Saturday mornings at 8 to learn how you might fight foreclosure and keep your home.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. While everyone was first arbitrating whether or not Trump's alleged statement about Central American and African countries was racist, now they've moved on to arguing whether or not his denial that he made such a statement is an actual denial.
Yeah, he tweeted out 21 minutes ago, never said anything derogatory about Haitians or other, that Haiti is obviously a very poor and troubled country. Never said take them out. Made up by Dems. I have a wonderful relationship with Haitians. Probably should record future meetings. Unfortunately, no trust, exclamation point.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you believe?
So while everybody's playing that game,
well, I mean,
there's other things going on that are perhaps really.
And the Norwegians. And why aren't the Norwegians coming?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to?
Again, from Stephen Van Zandt's performance in Lillehammer, which I assume is reflective of daily life in Norway. Yeah. You know, we don't want that kind of trouble. Yeah. Okay. We don't want that kind of trouble. We export our mob bosses there. Okay. That's what I understand from Lillehammer, and I assume that's basically a documentary. Sure. It's what's the phrase in the DC press corps? I think it's notionally accurate. It rings true.
If it's notionally accurate.
But there are things that are going on that are also important to a free society, to restraint on government intervention in your life when it comes to things like surveillance. Kind of important constitutional issues. The Pfizer reauthorization moved through the House yesterday. Rand Paul suggesting it may not move through so swimmingly through the Senate because he's got some problems with the reauthorization, and he explained the distinction he would like to see reflected in Section 702 of that reauthorization with respect to the intelligence community being able to surveil American citizens and people in this country.
This program allows us to spy on foreigners in foreign lands with a less than constitutional standard, or really with no constitutional standard. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is that millions of Americans are collected into this data system and that maybe rogue people at the FBI or a Justice Department could look at this database without a judge's warrant. So we want a judge's warrant. So I don't think they're mutually exclusive. You can be for the program and for the program with reforms. Right. And the way I understand the president's position is that he wants some of the reforms, that he thinks that we ought to have a warrant to look at this, and that there's a possibility that people with bias in the intelligence community could use that bias to actually abuse the system. This is an enormous power. You have to realize we have the ability to soak up every phone call in Italy in 1 month, and apparently we did. So we have the ability to soak up most of the phone calls and conversations in the whole world. That power is so enormous that it needs to be limited and watched carefully, and I think a judge should be looking at this before you try to look at an American's information.
And to aid in Paul's argument, Cheryl Atkinson tweeted yesterday, a great investigative reporter, first, intel agencies weren't supposed to surveil U.S. citizens, but they did. Then they weren't supposed to store it, but they did. Then they weren't supposed to search it, but they did. Then they weren't supposed to unmask it, but they did. Then they weren't supposed to leak it, ... Yeah, I mean, so you know what she's implying and or actually describing, and it speaks to the implications of Rand Paul's argument and the need for some sober reflection on just how much unrestrained power we allow to reside in the intelligence agencies. By the way, I mean, since Trump, as he tweeted, is potentially one of the targets of the problem that Rand Paul is raising. I mean, concurrent with the authorization, you have Jim Jordan and Mark Meadows on Hannity the other day talking about release the FISA warrant that the FBI got.
Glenn Simpson said Christopher Steele told him the FBI had another source. How did Christopher Steele know that? Did the FBI tell him? And if they did, why is the FBI telling Christopher Steele, the guy who was paid by Fusion, who was paid by the Clinton campaign, why is the FBI telling Christopher Steele they got another source on this whole Russian investigation? I think that is interesting and something we need to get to the bottom of. They talk about planning stories. Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, in their text message exchange, talk about planning stories with the media to further their narrative. And what was their narrative and what was their plan? It was the insurance policy that was designed to make sure that we can't take the risk the American people are going to elect Donald Trump president. So now this all fits together. So that's what I found most interesting today, is those text messages that John Solomon wrote about, along with what Senator Feinstein released, and how it fits this idea that the FBI was actively planning and orchestrating in a systematic way this idea we're going to generate stories that further our narrative and the plan we have.
So that's about the Trump dossier, and then Jordan consummates that with this demand.
Now it's time to declassify this, make this public so the American people can understand once and for all what exactly happened. Remember, Sean, it's today, 1 year anniversary from when BuzzFeed first printed that entire dossier, that disproven, salacious, unverified dossier, as Jim Comey testified and said it was. 1 year ago today that they printed it. A year and a half ago that it looks like they used it to go to the FISA court to get the warrants. Let's make that available for members of Congress to see.
All right, for more on this topic and the others, we're pleased to be joined by David Harsanyi, who nationally syndicated columnist and senior editor at The Federalist, thefederalist.com. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
What about Jordan and Mark Meadows calling for the FISA warrant the FBI obtained to be released, or at least to be summarized if you don't want to do the entire declassification, so that people understand the basis on which the FBI got their warrant to surveil Trump and Trump campaign operatives, and this all playing out just as the Congress is taking up FISA reauthorization?
Well, I think it's a great idea. I mean, the only thing to worry about is there something in there that's classified that people shouldn't be seeing yet? And if we summarize it, then the debate just continues because everyone says we haven't seen the whole thing. But I think if people took a step back, just relaying it back to the FISA debate, and took out Trump's name, because just any president, and think about it this way: did the FBI use a dossier that was fictitious for the most part? I mean, all the important parts of it are, at least as far as we know, untrue. And did it use that to spy on another campaign that it was running against, one political party against another? I mean, I think that would be a massive scandal and should be.
Yeah.
And no one wants to talk about it because they hate Trump. So, I mean, I think years ago there were many, many Democrats who had problems with this and talked about the potential of this happening. And now because Trump's around, they just drop it. I think it's just a dangerous way to be running the government.
Well, and did somebody die trying to get this dossier put together? When that testimony was released a few days ago, Glenn Simpson's, they had alleged that somebody lost their life, but they never said a name. And where's the body? What is it?
When I was reading through the testimony and I read that part, I'm like, please follow up.
I know.
What happened? No one followed up, so we don't know what that's about exactly. We do know that Glenn Simpson said that the FBI had confirmed parts of the dossier, so it was okay to move forward. First of all, why would the FBI tell him that? It's a problem. But secondly, afterwards, they walked that back, and that was the big moment in that testimony, because that means that that the FBI used something that they had corroborated in other ways. But we don't know that that's true at all.
Well, that's it. That's a good point, and it goes back to your previous point. There's the issue for remove the names. There's the issue of one party using the power of the state to surveil the opposition party, and then there's the issue of the FBI using a particular party's opposition research guy to work in collaboration against the guy he's doing opposition research on. Right. Again, employing the power of the state. These are sort of concerning things if you believe in civil liberties.
I think so. And a lot of defenders say of Fusion say, well, a judge gave a warrant for this. But so the point is that the FBI brought him information that was maybe untrue. But we don't know that for a fact. I'm not saying that's a fact, but that's what we want to get to, because when law enforcement comes to these judges, they just essentially have to trust their investigations are on the up and up and not politically motivated. So that there's no way for them to investigate these things. They just look at the evidence given to them. So that's the problem.
Speaking of Democrats dropping things they used to be concerned about, Tom Cotton made the point about border security. It was just a dozen short years ago when Schumer and Obama and other Democrats voted for the double-stacked security fence along the southern border, which hasn't yet materialized, and now they're not so keen on it as they're trying to, those 5 white guys Pelosi referred to are trying to formulate a bipartisan deal they can present to the president for assent. What you're hearing about the broad strokes of any deal on DACA and border security, given the president's tweets this morning that what was reported yesterday wasn't good enough.
Right. So, I mean, a lot of the media reported that when Jeff Flake had said that they'd come to an agreement. I forgot how many senators there were, but they haven't come to an agreement because, as we know from the past, you have to bring together, majority of the Senate and majority of the House. And it just seems to me the president doesn't even like it. And I imagine that there are just many folks on both sides that couldn't, there are a bunch of Democrats who will never live with a wall, even though they used to support it, and there are a bunch of Republicans who are never going to live with any sort of amnesty. They simply won't. So I just don't know how this deal is supposed to come together.
Yeah.
Although you had Steny Hoyer say emphatically in that hour-long televised confab, we believe in border security. We believe in border security, but they just don't want to do anything about it.
Well, looking at the president's tweet, it seems to me that they want to take that money out of something else, military spending. I don't exactly understand, but it just seems like that would be a no-go for a bunch of hawkish conservatives as well. So it seems to me like it's going to be a big lift. We haven't really had any big reform, bipartisan reform, in many, many years, maybe going back to the Bush years. So especially on immigration, this seems like a tough thing to do, even though it seems to me like there is some space to come to a deal. I mean, if they would agree to a wall, I think that the DACA thing could be maybe worked out, and you'd have a deal. But it seems like everyone always wants to lard up bills with their own pet projects and hobby horses, and it undermines the whole thing.
He is David Harsanyi, nationally syndicated columnist, senior editor for TheFederalist.com. David, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thanks.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, some governor's getting a little slappy, allegedly. Wow. Don't you touch your husband. Anyway, we'll explain. But first, here's your forecast. Mostly cloudy today. Light snow shower possible, especially northwest Indiana. A high of 25. The weekend is a cold one, and we'll have partial clouds and sunshine both days. Saturday, a high of 18. And on Sunday, pick out your sunscreen because the high is going to be 22 degrees. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. CTA Red and Purple Line trains continue to be not running at the moment between Howard and Belmont. That's a long stretch on the north side. This is after a fatal incident involving a person on the tracks near Bryn Mawr. For our shuttles, or you can consider one of the other north side buses. The South Shore Line has delays up to an hour due to high wind issues. The Edens, however, is delay-free. Kennedy inbound, stop and go Irving Park to the Hubbard Tunnel. 38 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 28 from Montrose, but 30 in the Express. Outbound 26 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, 43 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 31. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 35. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 30 after an early morning dump truck crash, 91st. Bishop Ford, 35 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. There are ramp closures at 159th after an earlier crash there. Biggest tollway delay is the eastbound Reagan Tollway, 88 Farnsworth to Washington after a collision. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We love the product. I think we've been on it for, 12 years now, or pretty close, and we believe in it, and we're going to continue taking it.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone-on-bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I have these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
If you're a small business, first impressions can make all the difference. With Grasshopper, you get all the features of a professional business phone system on your mobile phone. Choose a business phone number, make calls, and send texts. Stay connected and work from anywhere with features like Wi-Fi calling and our desktop app. Set up your account in minutes with no long-term contracts and 24/7 customer support. Make your small business big. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio. That's grasshopper.com/radio.
As a small business owner, you make every dollar count. So what could you do with $10? Go to Vistaprint.com today and you'll get 500 high-quality custom business cards for only $9.99. That's less than 2 cents per card. And at Vistaprint, your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed. So it's never been easier to turn 500 strangers into connections. Just visit Vistaprint.com and use promo code 1919 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 1919.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy and
slappy. So bad.
Eric Greitens, the Missouri governor, who, conservative former Navy SEAL.
Well, he's an up-and-coming star in the Republican Party.
Was seen as that, somebody with, national potential. And now I think he's facing an existential threat to continue to be in office as this affair that he admitted to continues to get more salacious and problematic for him. The latest claim from The ex-husband being what, Amy?
Well, the latest claim is that
The ex-husband of his paramour.
Is that he slapped her when he found out that she was having sex with her husband. I mean, so they had this affair in 2015. She was his hairdresser, and she admitted to her husband that, she was attracted to him instantly. And he apparently took nude pictures of her, semi-nude pictures of her too, and said, if you talk about our affair, I'm going to release your nude photos.
So there's that revenge porn angle, which he denies, and he has not, I don't think he's commented directly on the allegation that he struck the woman. But this is all from undercover taping that the ex-husband did of his wife who was having the affair with Greitens, and so she's talking to her ex-husband and conveying all this. Now, was she telling the truth? I don't know.
They were sitting
but
in
she
the
didn't know
car
she was
when it
being
happened.
recorded.
Yeah, and if you go to KMOV and you could see this, it's because they broke this story, Dan, on the night that he released his State of the State address. So he gets off, the lectern, everyone's cheering, and then an hour later they drop this bombshell. The couple, they said this happened before he became governor, and she knew about the relationship. He
Greitens'
told her,
wife.
Yeah, and she said it was a deeply personal mistake, and I took responsibility and dealt with it. They dealt with it together honestly and privately, but now these other allegations of possible blackmail and then the slappy slap, it doesn't really help.
Also, a related story, candidate for Attorney General in Illinois, well, politicians.
Okay.
Midwestern politicians, that's the connection. Aaron Goldstein is one of 52 Democrats running for Attorney General since Lisa Madigan announced she's not running again. He doing publicity shots, taking campaign photos in Albany Park.
What happened?
A little sticky, as in stick up. He gets robbed. He and his campaign staff get robbed of their camera equipment and other personal belongings, and then they flee. Police have yet to apprehend the suspects in the case. A Democrat candidate for Attorney General in a publicity shoot in the middle of the day in Albany Park in Chicago gets robbed. If that isn't a commentary on Chicago and Chicago Democrat control of Chicago, then I don't know what is.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the CEO of Prager University discusses why they are suing the YouTube. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
23 degrees, skies are cloudy, very chilly this morning, and a wind chill of 5 above. World leaders condemning President Trump's crude remarks comparing certain poor countries to toilets. The Washington Post broke the news that Trump, according to the Post, had used vulgar expressions to describe Haiti, El Salvador, and some other African countries yesterday while discussing immigration with lawmakers in the Oval Office. Now, the president, through his Twitter account, has tweeted out that he did not make those comments. However, the information minister of Somalia called Trump's vulgar comments fake news. Haitian-American Congresswoman Mia Love says she plans to rise above those comments by President Trump that she has called unkind and divisive.
My parents, they never took anything. They did everything they can to contribute to society. And that's the American dream. That's where that comes from. I know because I'm living it.
Love called on the president to apologize. Walmart closing dozens of its Sam's Club discount warehouses across the nation. The grim search through muck and rubble continues in Montecito, California, for any more survivors of Tuesday's deadly mudslide that claimed 17 lives. Ford is urging owners of an older model pickup to stop driving it immediately. The unprecedented request from an American automaker comes after Ford confirmed a second death caused by a defective Takata airbag. 3 are dead following a fiery crash on Chicago's far south side. It happened in the 3300 block of East 100th Street this morning. Chicago police are investigating after a candidate running for Attorney General was robbed at gunpoint on the northwest side. It happened while Aaron Goldstein and several members of his campaign team were taking promo shots near Wilson and Albany Avenues. Illinois Medicaid managers say they're reviewing a new rule that may allow states to ask people on government health care rolls to work. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services yesterday approved what it's calling community engagement. Chicago sports, Fighting Illini still winless in the Big Ten after a loss to Iowa in overtime, 104-97. The Blackhawks welcome the Jets to the UC tonight. Bulls begin a 3-game homestand hosting the Pistons tomorrow. The news is a service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. Post a job in minutes. Manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher wants to bring you a different kind of show.
There are plenty of hosts. There are plenty of writers. There are plenty of pundits. There are plenty of congressmen. There are plenty of people who criticize Donald Trump every minute of every hour of every day, and I don't do that on this show. I want you to come here and have a different experience.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Ready for a bad cold and flu season? A cold is a cold, but flu brings fever. Be prepared with the Exogen Temporal Scanner Thermometer backed by medical professionals everywhere.
Get up and go. It's Apple Vacation's great winter event. Non-stop fun, adventure, sun-soaked beaches. Escape to your favorite tropical destination. It's all available now. Save hundreds. But hurry, the best hotels and prices won't last. 3 nights in Riviera Nayarit at Grand Palladium Vallarta Resort and Spa start from only $7.99. Or make it 7 nights at Rio Jalisco, starting from just $9.99. Both escapes include round-trip nonstop air, resort transfers, all meals, drinks, and taxes. Call Carry Travel Express at 847-639-3300 or visit carrytravelexpress.com to book your trip today. Prices per person based on double occupancy for select exclusive vacation flights from O'Hare to Puerto Vallarta on Frontier Airlines starting February 2nd and include taxes and fees including September 11th security fee. Some flights are operated by other airlines. Baggage charges apply. See applevacations.com. Prices subject to availability and change. Restrictions apply.
8:36. Let's get a check of the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Still some lake effect snow in Porter and LaPorte counties, but we don't see quite as many delays as we did earlier on the Toll Road and 94. Speeds are reduced. No significant backups. Eastbound Reagan Tollway stop and go Farnsworth to Washington after a crash. The other tollways are really light. Edens is as well with no significant delays. Kennedy inbound, slow Montrose to the Hubbard Tunnel, 39 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 29 for Montrose, 34 in the Express. Outbound, there's a 4-minute delay central to Harlem. Eisenhower, 43 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 30. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound clear. Ryan is 30 minutes either way between 95th and downtown. CTA red and purple line service remains suspended between Howard and Belmont after a fatal incident involving a person on the tracks near Bryn Mawr. Traffic Service of Accountant. You could use help closing your books and need additional staff. It's time to call Accountants. They can provide you with bookkeepers and other accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis, and fast. Call today. Accountants are Robert Half Company. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, breezy, much colder, snow showers crossing the area, and heavier snow and ice across northwest Indiana. And if you're traveling south through the state, up to 5 to 7 inches of snow in southern Indiana today. A high near 25, a low of 8 overnight. Currently, we have clouds, some flurries in the area. 21 at O'Hare and 23 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 9, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Build the wall first. Don't talk about anything else. Secure the border first. Don't talk about anything else until that's done. We'll talk about that when freedom returns at 5.
We can't talk. Not
All right.
about anything else.
Okay, so Durbin Hole just released a statement about what Trump allegedly said in their meeting to discuss a deal on DACA and border security, which Durbin was a part of.
And basically he said no, that what Trump's denial is not true and that he made disparaging remarks repeatedly about Haitians and people from certain African countries. So do you believe Dick Durbin or do you believe President Trump? 312-642-5600 is always our turnkey DePro answer.
I don't know. I mean,
64636-DA.
Trump's tweet was a little obtuse in terms of, like, I didn't what he didn't say. He didn't really address the
Well,
question of the whole comment directly. But
he said he never said anything derogatory about Haitians other than Haiti is obviously a very poor and troubled country. Now, those seem to be refined words for one president. Trump, who's a press businessman from New York. You know, I mean, I think that he did say what he said, or it's, you know, the White House yesterday didn't deny it.
I wonder if that will give Twitter, per the undercover work by James O'Keefe of Project Veritas, that will give Twitter the information they need to kick Trump off, or to perhaps to shadow ban him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shadow ban.
Yeah.
What is a shadow ban again?
They essentially ban you and you don't know you're banned, at least not at first. You got to figure out because the outside Twitterverse can't see your tweets, just your followers, to try and limit your content so you're perceived that people are not responding to your content. For more on this topic, generally speaking, because of the other action this week directed at the big Silicon Valley search engine companies like, say, Google, as well as the investigative reporting on Twitter, we're pleased to be joined by Marissa Streit. She is the Chief Executive Officer of Prager University. Of course, our friend and colleague Dennis Prager, Prager University, excellent videos and content across a range of topics. And they've been in a back and forth with YouTube over YouTube blocking the posting of certain Prager videos on certain topics that are completely innocuous and totally substantive. Of course they are. I mean, Dennis Prager. Are you kidding me? You're talking about like an intellectual, a genteel man, like he's doing things that are incendiary? Hardly. He's helping to, through other people, like the Kobe Jones video that we played from Prager University, talking about the culture of the participation trophy, that just advanced the conversation in a substantive way on a particular topic. But YouTube is picking and choosing. Prager University alleges the reasons are specious, and they have now announced that they are filing suit against YouTube and its owner, Google. Why is that? Marissa Streit joins us to explain. Thank you so much for joining us, Marissa. Appreciate it.
Hi, thank you for having me.
And so give us the basis of your complaint against YouTube and Google.
So I'll tell you a little bit about the background, how we found out about our videos being restricted, because it was as shocking to us as almost anybody in their right mind that PragerU videos would be considered something inappropriate for young people, or what it seems like they're labeling us as either our videos or us as an organization in general as hate speech. About a year and a half ago, we started getting emails from students of ours who watched our videos at home, and then when they went onto campuses, they couldn't find the videos. And the same thing happened with employees who worked for different corporations. They started emailing us saying, hey, what's going on? Did you take your videos down? Well, I watched this video last night, and today I'm trying to see it at work or at school, and I can't find it. So we immediately looked into it, and we figured out that they have been putting our videos on restricted mode. At that point, we had about 11 videos that were on restricted mode, and we simply contacted them. We couldn't imagine that it was anything but a simple mistake. After contacting them, they virtually ignored us. They would send us emails back, automated emails for the most part, saying, your videos must be violating our community guidelines. We read through the community guidelines. The guidelines basically say that videos will be restricted if they are pornographic, violent, or incite hate speech, and there's a bunch of other specific language in the community guidelines. So they would not give us a straight-up answer as to why our videos in particular are being restricted, other than this basic community guideline document that they would send us. And I don't think anybody would say that any of our videos are pornographic or violent. So a year after us just going back and forth, we launched a petition. We had about 250,000 people sign it. And eventually, they finally started giving us some basic answers. One of them this past August was that they reviewed our videos, and they determined that they are inappropriate for young people. basically, people under 18 and people under 18 cannot handle watching our videos. And if people want to watch our videos, they can unrestrict their browser, meaning if you can watch pornography, then you can watch Prager U.
But I mean, I'm the mother of 2 boys, and you should see what is on YouTube and what they're watching and what they can be exposed to if I didn't, have a filter on it. Because I mean, the ones that you were trying to air, are the police racist? Why don't feminists fight for Muslim women? And these are not pornographic or bad for people under the age of 18 to watch.
It's shocking. It's shocking. When we got that letter from them saying that they actually reviewed the videos and determined that the videos are inappropriate, then we realized what we're actually dealing with. They were trying to go, for a while we just really wanted to believe that it was a simple mistake, but it was clearly not a simple mistake. And from the moment we started putting more public pressure on them, we started seeing more pressure on our own channel. So we have over 1 million subscribers to our YouTube channel. And on Monday mornings, we generally release a video on YouTube. Within several hours, another video would get restricted. So we started obviously getting frustrated. We started asking questions. We were not getting answers to the questions that we asked. And eventually, former Governor of California, Pete Wilson, contacted us. There are 2 attorneys who contacted us, but when the governor contacted us, he made a very compelling case to Dennis Prager and to the rest of our board, saying, you have to do this for God and country. What is happening on the internet is so wrong, and Prager U is it's so obvious that our videos. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. I don't say that they understand everything that's going on in the video, but it's surely not harmful to them if they even come across it. And as you said, there's such work content on the internet, including videos with titles like ours and subjects like ours from a different point of view. So, for example, we have history videos on the British Empire, and we have history videos on Iraq, and we have all kinds of history videos that other channels have as well. Their videos are not restricted, and ours are restricted.
But here's the here's the thing. I get that. I mean, the Prager University content is great, and the complaint at minimum highlights the the bias of YouTube and their Google overlords and so forth of trying to restrict quality content that advances conversation and education. So I concede all that. But you don't have a First Amendment right to access YouTube. It's private enterprise. And as conservatives, I wonder if there was part of the conversation to say, well, look, we don't have a claim. We can't force YouTube. There's no legitimate forcing of YouTube to treat our content equally or to post our content or allow our content to be posted at all as a private enterprise. What about that?
Well, our attorneys will probably do a better job than me answering the legalese, but our attorneys have made 2 important points. Point number 1, there is a breach of contract with PragerU. When PragerU established a channel with YouTube, we signed the exact same contract that anybody else who created a channel on YouTube did.
Okay,
and
breach of contract. Okay, all right, that's a good point.
Under the covenant of good faith and fair dealing, they're treating us differently. That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, and the main portion also of our complaint is that Google holds itself as a public forum. And in California, if you own a shopping mall, you are subject to First Amendment laws. And why? Why is that? Because shopping malls are considered public forums. Google is many, many times larger than any shopping mall. It serves many more people than any shopping mall. And our point is that if a shopping mall is subject to First Amendment laws, then Google and YouTube is also a public forum and therefore should be subject to First Amendment laws.
Okay. All right, good. That's a very good answer to my question, and I think that helps to advance people's understanding of this suit. She is Marissa Streit, Chief Executive Officer of Prager University. Our friend Dennis Prager's excellent outlet with all the great content that Marissa was describing and much more. You want to check that out. Marissa, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And she joined us on our Turnkey Pro That Needs Fixed answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Restaurants come and go. Very few last. When you find a restaurant that served margaritas, fun, and fantastic food for over 2 decades, you can bet it's great.
That's the one-of-a-kind landmark Cafe Salsa Mexican Grill and Tequila Bar in Countryside. Cafe Salsa offers daily lunch specials, happy hour in the bar, half-price house margaritas on Wednesdays, and on Monday and Tuesday, 2 for $22 dinner specials. Ready to eat? Try Mexican-inspired influences on traditional fare, like Cafe Salsa's margarita salmon, honey chipotle glazed pork chops, and amazing carne asada with mushroom salsa, plus fajitas, a fantastic selection of quesadillas, many flavorful steak and chicken dishes, and shrimp tacos, hot off the wood-fired grill. Cafe Salsa's dining room is perfect for birthdays and family get-togethers. Check out their complete menu at cafesalsa.com or call 708-352-5100.
Make your plans for lunch or dinner today at Cafe Salsa, 55th Street and LaGrange Road in Countryside, cafesalsa.com.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Amanda Zanger, owner of Black Industrial and Safety Supply in Hammond, Indiana, and a business customer of Signature Bank. Prior to owning my own business, I worked for a major financial institution. So when it came time to finance the acquisition of Black, I approached a big bank, only to receive a solid no. That's when Signature Bank stepped in. With Signature Bank, the process was different. Signature provided creative financing options that enabled me to purchase Black and continue to grow the business. Thanks to Signature Bank, Black Industrial is able to continue serving Fortune 500 industry fabricators and contractors with tools and safety supplies as we have since 1893.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Butch, all I ever see you eat is raw meat, whiskey, and an occasional bowl of rusty nails. Now, I know you're tough, but with your diet, what's your secret to avoiding the flu?
Jim, this is between us. You hear?
Sure, Butch, you can trust me.
Well, I take Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. I take them on the go or under the table when no one's looking. It's the only way I'd ever get over 10 real servings of fruits and vegetables.
Is it like a vitamin or something?
No, it's food. They only use real whole ingredients. Not that isolated or synthetic crap you get with all the other guys. This is real stuff, Jim. Real stuff. They sell direct to consumers and ship right to your door, free of charge.
Well, Buckaroo, how do I get them?
Call them at 1-800-2468-751. Write it down, Jim, before someone sees me. It's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code WAGON for a special offer.
Millwright work is often technical and requires a high degree of precision. The pros at Vans Industrial are skilled mechanics that can perform any type of millwright work, including installation and maintenance of your factory equipment and machinery. For your machine repair needs, look no further than Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial millwright contractor that can install new mechanical systems or repair existing systems. Our services include repair of bearings, shafts, shiv alignments, as well as installation of conveyors and bucket elevators. Our team of trained mechanics will respond to your emergency calls 24/7, keeping your systems operational. We're here to help you.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. That's 833-VANS-IND. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964. If you or a loved one suffers from long-term depression, disabling anxiety, or suicidal thoughts, a practical, cutting-edge in-office therapy solution is available. Maybe it's the consequence of concussion, traumatic brain injury, PTSD, addictions, pain, effects of stroke, or a combination of these that's caused frustration with no hope of help. The Neuroscience Center specializes in these treatment-resistant conditions, often caused by coexisting disorders. For decades, TNC has successfully used a variety of proven methods to evaluate and subsequently treat the problems with novel and even patented procedures, like the concurrent administration of TMS with ketamine infusion, returning patients to a fulfilling life. Call the Neuroscience Center in Deerfield and learn more at 847-236-9310 or at neurosciencecenter.com, 847-236-9310 or neurosciencecenter.com. The Neuroscience Center. Practical approach. Cutting-edge therapy.
At last, the new year is here. What do you see ahead? Happy days and carefree nights?
Credit card bills?
Right. Credit card bills.
Looking at months of high-interest credit card bills from all that generous holiday gift giving? Time to go to Lightstream and get a low-interest rate credit card consolidation loan. Act now to get an even lower rate with our special radio listener discount. Go to lightstream.com/news to get rates as low as 5.39% APR with autopay. And with average interest rates on credit cards at 17% APR, Lightstream could save you thousands of dollars in interest. Makes the new year a whole lot brighter, doesn't it? The application takes minutes online. There are no fees, and you can have funds as soon as today. So if you have good to excellent credit, apply today and get a special interest rate discount at lightstream.com/news. That's lightstream.com/news. lightstream.com/news.
Subject to credit approval. Rate includes a 0.5% autopay discount available only when you select autopay prior to loan funding. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com for important information about limits on Lightstream loans and same-day funding.
St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has been an all-male military school since 1884, but is going co-ed beginning summer 2018. Their midterm registration is January 21st, and you're invited to attend an upcoming St. John's open house. Consider St. John's Northwestern Military Academy for your son or daughter's middle and high school education in the beautiful Lake Country region of southwest Wisconsin. Your child will receive outstanding academics, superb athletics, leadership opportunities, a chance to live and learn with students from around the world, and most importantly, a safe and structured environment where each student can achieve at his or her full potential. To learn more about how a St. John's Northwestern Military Academy education can give your child the advantage he or she deserves, don't miss an upcoming St. John's open house. For open house dates and more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, some important news from across the pond.
Oh, what?
Rigby and Peller. You know Rigby and Peller.
Sure.
One's they're magicians, one's the big tall guy, and then the other's the silent guy in Vegas.
Penn and Teller?
Oh, that's Penn and Teller. This
Penn
is
and
Rigby and Peller. Rigby and Peller.
I'm sorry. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, how could I not know?
Rigby and Peller, of course, is the bra fitter, the officially licensed bra fitter for the Queen Mother.
Oh.
They're
Queen Mom?
the luxury underwear firm that's
Okay.
held the royal warrant to fit the Queen since 1960, but they're out.
Oh, what happened?
Somebody
get their panties in a bunch? Oh!
Zing.
A bra snap? Oh!
June Kenton, Dame June Kenton, who fitted for bras for the Queen, released a book called Storm in a D Cup.
Wow.
Real page
That's
turner.
provocative.
Uh,
Storm in a D cup?
And the royal family none too pleased with that offering, so they rescinded the royal warrant,
Well, yeah, you can't. One rule about the Queen, you don't talk about the Queen.
particularly her bra sizing.
Now, if it was double D's, it may be X-rated. Ew.
Oh, there's come with shoelaces at her age. She's
D-cup.
91.
You know how hard it is to pack a bra that's a D cup? It takes up all your suitcase.
I don't, but I know someone who does, and I wonder.
It's a horrible thing.
I wonder if, that's why I'm kind of interested in this story. I wonder if Rigby and Peller, now that they're looking for business, would come across the pond here and agree to do the bra fitting for J.B. Pritzker, our next governor. So, I'm just saying.
Wow.
They need the work. They lost the royal warrant. And then we also have something from our current governor, Amy.
Yeah?
A new scent.
Oh, will you stop it? Okay, so remember, the pea hat, the pink hat that all the feminists wear?
I'm familiar with it.
Well, they one woman who was so inspired by the symbol of the Women's March has applied for a patent for a pea perfume. The pea... What's that supposed to be?
That's somebody's
spraying? Okay.
Spritzing perfume.
It's a pink bottle with the P word on it,
Mhm.
and then a little pink little knit cap on top. They want to have fragrance for pet sprays, body sprays, and perfumes, all with the P label. Who's going to be the spokesperson? Spokeswoman, I should say. Not a spokesman, a spokeswoman.
Well, I don't
Look at
know.
me.
Boy, I'm sure President Trump will be grabbing those off the shelves.
Nice. Thanks so much for making us part of your work week. A special thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical director, Quinn McCarthy, our associate producer, and Keith Conrad, our executive producer. We are back here bright and early Monday morning, Martin Luther King Day, and we'll see you then. Have a great and beautiful, wonderful weekend. Now here is Mike Scott.
Here are the stories we're following this morning. 3 killed in a fiery crash on Chicago's south side. Blackhawks are hosting the Jets later on tonight. Cloudy, breezy in your forecast. WIND Chicago News Time is 9 o'clock.